Sports.
A week ago in Stillwater, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State battled the Colorado Buffaloes into the fourth quarter. Finally, CU's superior talent prevailed. The Buffs' seventh victory set the stage for the seniors' farewell salute. 7 players will say goodbye to the Folsom Field faithful, hoping to ruin their finale and CU's homecoming, the Missouri Tigers. It's Mizzou and CU. The kickoff's coming up.
News 4 Sports presents CU Buffaloes football. Live from Folsom Field in Boulder, it's the University of Missouri Tigers versus the University of Colorado Buffaloes.
Welcome to a very windy Folsom Field. It's another Big 8 conference matchup here on News 4 between the 9th-ranked CU Buffaloes and the Missouri Tigers. Hi, everybody. I'm Les Shapiro, along with Dave Logan. Dave, a lot of people see this as an easy win for CU, but it won't be easy if the Buffs don't step it up on defense.
Well, they've got to do a better job, obviously, on the defensive side of the football. The last 4 games, they've given up an average of 36 points. Now, you figure in Nebraska and Kansas with big outbursts, and you certainly have to temper some of the way you look at that defense. But I know this staff is not completely satisfied. In the last couple of games, here today and, of course, next week against Kansas State and Manhattan, they must play better on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, as he has been most of the season, John Hessler will be a quarterback for the CU Buffs. He threw for 5 touchdowns last week against Oklahoma State. Might be a little tougher to throw the ball today, though.
Well, I mean, this is a paraglider's nightmare, I guess, would be the way we describe these conditions. Hessler, I think, has had a very good year. He's thrown for 16 touchdowns. He's thrown for over 1,600 yards. And keep in mind, this was a guy that they were not counting on to get significant playing time this year. So when you take that into consideration, I think John Hessler has played very well.
On the visiting sideline today, an old warhorse, we've got Larry Smith coaching the Missouri Tigers, a guy who's won at USC, he's won at Arizona, but he's struggling to get this Missouri program back on track.
Well, it's been a difficult task. I think the program certainly was down when Larry Smith came there. He's a very good coach. He's a proven coach and a guy that has turned schools into winning programs. And yet Larry Smith right now will start 7 freshmen today on both sides of the football combined. So it's tough to win with young players. It's tough to get things turned around. This will be their 12th consecutive losing season in Columbia.
Do you expect to see the ball kept on the ground by both teams today?
I think there'll probably be more running by CU than they normally might. You can still throw the ball a little bit. Where the wind will affect them today, I think, will be in the long passing game. You just can't get that ball up in the wind because it's going to carry out of bounds if you throw near the sideline.
Now, I'm interested to see how the kickoff goes, the opening kickoff, and it's right around the corner here in Boulder.
Today's game is brought to you by Pizza Hut, by Coors Light, by Agbar Door, by Midas, and by Samsonite.
Think about all the new truck choices there are. Now just think of extended cabs. Now just extended cabs available with V8 power, 4-wheel drive, and standard anti-lock brakes. Now just extended cabs available with V8 power, 4-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, driver's side airbag, full instrumentation, aluminum wheels, high-back bucket seats, tilt wheel, bed liner, power windows, AM/FM CD player, leather-wrapped steering wheel, and so much more. Now we'll make it easy on you. Just think of the GMC Sierra Club Coupe. See your Colorado GMC truck dealer today.
This sounds like a nice place. You can watch your own cable TV. Discovery, TNT. Enjoy Ben & Jerry's ice cream or a sexy magazine. Relax with music, tone your muscles. But don't make a reservation because this is one of Colorado's newest prisons. They did the crime and they're doing the time in style at your expense.
It's better than most people would probably think prison is.
News 4's Brian Moss has a report that will forever change your idea of prison. Is there a purpose for pampering prisoners? Monday at 10 on News 4.
Call Pizza Hut now during this News 4 program, and you'll receive this great pizza deal.
Single topping, large pepperoni stuffed crust pizza and 2 liters of Pepsi, just $11.99.
To get this News 4 special offer, you must call now.
Dear Midas, one morning, I noticed my car was pulling, so I took it to a tire store for an alignment. And And after 3 separate attempts, they couldn't get it right. I went to Midas for help. Your manager...
Hi, I'm Paul Meyer.
And his staff spent all the time necessary to identify and correct the alignment. Paul said...
We don't want you to leave until you're extremely happy.
Which I am. Sincerely, Anthony Nista.
Quality Mitsubishi has 95 Monteros and Eclipse GSXs from just $29.88 or only $259 a month. Quality Mitsubishi. The name says it all at 6120 South Broadway.
The crowd still shuffling into Folsom Field in Boulder. I would imagine we'll have a few empty seats today, primarily because of the weather. A little cooler and a little windier than we expected. Let's take a look at some of those numbers. The temperature today, 55 degrees, humidity at 34%. The wind started out kicking slightly this morning and has just been building and building as the afternoon wears on. You see 20 to 40 miles per hour. It's probably closer to that 40 mile per hour mark. As a matter of fact, they've already taken down most of the flags from around the stadium because it is blowing so briskly, and they were afraid the flags would get torn. Ralphie 3 getting ready to come out of the chute. As we take a look at the series record between these teams, it is the 60th meeting. These two go back a long ways. Missouri leads the series, 33 wins, 23 losses, and 3 ties. But CU has won the last 10 games, including last year's game in Columbia, where CU took it 38-23. Let's go down to the field now. As always, our Mark McIntosh will be giving us reports from the sideline. Mark, what have you got?
Thank you, Les. You know, first the good news. It is rather warm down here. It's not uncomfortable whatsoever in terms of the temperature, but the wind down here is just unbelievable. People holding onto their hats. The Buffs are coming out on the field. You guys talked about this, but it's going to be very, very difficult to throw the ball. The kicking game will be much affected by all this wind. But talking about the Buffs and their attitude coming into this game, it seemed like last week in the locker room after the ball game down in Stillwater, this team had finally kind of sunk into this team, which is fairly young, a lot of juniors and sophomores and even some freshmen playing, that you've got to go out, regardless of the competition, each and every week and play 60 minutes of football. Earlier in the year when they would struggle against teams of inferior talent, after the game you talked to them and it seemed like they didn't really have a good grasp as to why they were struggling, but it seemed like maybe a light went on and a lot of these young kids had after the ball game against the Oklahoma State Cowboys, that the problem is us. We haven't been coming out focused for 60 minutes and playing good football. They seemed embarrassed by the fact that a team that is rebuilding like Oklahoma State would take them into the fourth quarter. So I look to see Colorado come out very focused. It's the final game for 7 seniors, the final home game this year, and I think they're out to make a statement today that they are indeed a top 10 team here in the country, and I expect them to come out and play a very solid fundamental ball game, and I know they hope to really run away from the Missouri Tigers and prove to a lot of people around the country that they are a very good football team. You know, they've been stung the past couple of weeks. At Iowa State, they heard the fans saying overrated. They heard the fans in Oklahoma State saying the very same thing. This team has been stung, and they're out to prove that they are indeed a top 10 team. Back up to you guys.
Yes, they certainly are. After the win at Oklahoma State last week, CU moved up 1 notch to number 9 in the Associated Press poll. They are number 10 in the USA Today CNN Coaches poll. And the Buffs have been ranked in every poll since 1989, 112 weeks in a row. Well, you see the CU ball club at midfield. They are honoring the seniors today. This is the final home game of the year, so it's the final home game for the 7 CU seniors. And as they come out, we'll tell you who they are. Mark had mentioned this team will be focused today, if for no other reason that the Buffs have lost their last 2 games at home to Kansas and to Nebraska. And the last time they've lost consecutive contests at Folsom Field was way back in 1988 when Oklahoma and Oklahoma State did the trick. Well, the first senior out, T.J. Cunningham, starting cornerback. Number 94 is Kerry Hicks, the starting defensive tackle. 63, Heath Irwin, the fine offensive guard. Number 3 is Donnell Liamidi. Number 95, the guy who's fought through knee injuries his whole career, defensive end Darrell Price. And number 64, the All-American candidate at center, Brian Stoltenberg. And the final CU senior, Running through the pack is Neil Voskerichian, having a fine season as the Buffs' place kicker.
Tell you what, when you talk about a team like this with only 7 seniors, that is an incredibly low number. Most programs usually will graduate between 13 to 18 seniors, sometimes even 20 seniors per year. And to think this team is losing only 7 players speaks highly of what CU fans can expect the next couple of years. Very young and talented club.
Well, capacity here, a little over 51,000, and we should fill up the stadium. There were a few tickets left in the last couple of days, but I would imagine with the walk-up crowd, those will get eaten up very quickly. The Buffs, for the last time at home this season, gathering in midfield. One more cheer. With 7 seniors in the middle of the pack.
And don't think that that team doesn't want to send those seniors out on a winning note at home. That's very, very important to the entire football team.
Let's go back down to the field and Mark McIntosh. Mark?
Thanks, guys. You know, you were talking about the great season that John Hessler is having, and of course he's playing because Corey Detmer is injured. And you can see Corey Detmer right now. He's watching the game today from Rick Neuheisel's office. And this is because, you know, Corey is a rambunctious type of guy. You know that from the way he'd celebrate in the end zone all the time when the Buffs would score a touchdown. Well, the problem now is that they think he's just being a little too anxious and too eager on this bad knee of his, so they put him in a knee brace and told him to slow down, and they are basically ordering him to watch the game today from up in Rick Neuheisel's office so that he doesn't get into the celebration mode down here on the sideline. So Corey is kind of like been told to relax and let that knee heal, and they're a little afraid that if he's down here, he might start getting nuts and celebrating with his teammates. So they got him upstairs watching the ball game today.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up, Mark. Last week in Stillwater, I was watching from our telecast booth, and I saw Coy Detmer on the field throwing passes to his teammates. And then Rick Neuheisel came walking out. Coy saw him walking towards him, and Coy stopped throwing, as if he knew Rick would not be pleased to see that. Kicking off for the Buffs to start the game will be Jason Leslie, and back to receive it will be Randy Potter and Kenyatta Williams. Williams on the left, Potter on the right. CU won the coin toss and elected to kick off with the wind. And once again, this wind has got to be, I would say 30 to 40 miles an hour. You can tell the line drive hits the back of the end zone and will not be run back. So the Missouri Tigers struggling mightily on offense all year, averaging just over 15 points a game, will start with the ball. And their quarterback, a freshman who doesn't necessarily throw the ball all that well, but he can run it. His name is Corby Jones. He has not thrown the ball more than 9 times in any single game this year. And he is the first true freshman to start at quarterback for Missouri since 1977, when Phil Bradley was at the helm. Bradley, of course, a gentleman who went on to have a very fine Major League Baseball career. Missouri starts out on the ground. This is their leading rusher, Brock Olivo. And he is stopped quickly by linebacker Ron Merkerson, who is back in the starting lineup after sitting out last week with an ankle injury. The Missouri offense looks like this. Jones, the quarterback, Olivo, and Antoine Johnson, the running backs. The tight end is Lingerfelt, and a couple of freshmen at wide receiver, Young and Brooks. The offensive line, Beeble, Morris, Appel, Smith, and the 313-pounder Chris Buck at right tackle. It's a very small offensive line outside of Buck. Nobody more than 270 pounds. 2nd and 10 after no gain on the initial run. Flag goes up. Olivo might have picked up a yard, but it looked like a couple of Buffs jumped the gun. CU defense, the front 7, Greg Jones having a spectacular season. Ryan Olson, Kerry Hicks, and Darrell Price. The linebackers are Phillips, Russell, and Merkerson. And the defensive backs are Wilkins, Donnelly Amidi, the senior, Rosga, and the other senior back there, T.J. Cunningham.
5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
You take a look at Corby Jones. When you look at the Missouri offense, they really have struggled just to stay on the field. They are virtually last in every category in the Big 8. Last in points. They're last in passing. They're second to last in rushing. That puts so much pressure on your defense. By the way, Missouri defensively is not a bad unit.
After the penalty, it's 2nd and 5 for Mizzou. Olivo tries the middle again. He's a couple yards short of the first down. Olivo comes into the game with 759 yards rushing.
He's a pretty good player, the co-freshman of the year last year in the Big 8 Conference on the offensive side of the football. A little bit faster than you might think. As you take a look, they have really struggled. They've struggled for the year, but especially on the road. Nebraska, Kansas, Kansas State, all away from Columbia. And now you add CU to that road schedule. You have your problems, even if you've got a good team.
5 out of the last 6 teams Missouri has faced have been ranked. It's 3rd and 1. The fullback, Antoine Johnson, picks up the first down and a little more. He's up to his own 35. Matt Russell, the middle linebacker, makes the stop.
Well, just a real quick trap play, and Johnson gets behind the left guard who pulls. Anybody who has seen Colorado the last few weeks must think when they come into the game that they can run the ball. And I think CU's play on the defensive side of the football has given even subpar offensive teams a lot more confidence when they play the Buffs.
On first down, again, the Buffs defensive line a little antsy. Olivo thrown for a 1-yard loss, but you might be able to tack a few more yards onto it if this penalty is against CU.
Second time we've seen that Colorado jumps, and you can see the fullback also moved, Antoine Johnson.
This penalty will go against the Buffs once again.
Defense, penalty, 5 yards.
And David, a dubious distinction for the CU team right now. With their second penalty of the afternoon, they have now tied the Big 8 Conference record for penalties in one season. They've been flagged 89 times.
And that's a record that Rick Neuheisel certainly did not want, and also a feat that he knows that this team is going to get better, and not only the rest of the remaining games, but next year and the year after, they've got to cut down. There's way too many silly penalties this year for the Bucks.
Antoine Johnson picks up a couple of yards, so that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Well, you can see what the wind is doing to some of our camera positions. We try and take a shot of Rick Neuheisel on the sideline. We are shaking all over the place. On 2nd and 3. Missouri at its own 42-yard line.
It's got to be a running play to tie it in. Now this one's going to be on Missouri. Interesting that they changed the formation, moved the tight end to the slot side, and thus you cannot throw the ball out of that formation. Mike Morris, the left guard, moved early. Take a look at the left guard, left side of your screen. Trying to get out a little early. Those guards who pull like to get just a little bit head start.
It hasn't been a very pretty first drive for the ball game. We've had 3 penalties so far. 2 against CU, 1 against Missouri. So it's 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. They're now at their own 37. On the option. This is what Jones does best. He is across the 40 to the 42 before Mike Phillips stops him.
Well, Missouri trying to run the option to the 2-receiver side into the boundary, and Jones, of course, we've been telling you, a freshman, a true freshman, does a nice job of just hitting that crease. You expect him to get better the next couple of years. He really is an excellent running quarterback. He gives Missouri a threat that they have not had in terms of running the football from that position. The tight end changes again to this side. It's got to be a run.
3rd and 3. Jones rolls out. Incomplete. The intended receiver was the freshman Martez Young, right in the letters, but couldn't hold on.
Let me correct something I said. Number 71, Chris Buck, was lined up as a tight end with 3 tackles to the right side, so obviously Missouri could pass. Nice play by T.J. Cunningham out of Oberlin High School. Gets a good break in the football and prevents the completion.
Back to punt for Missouri is Jason Smith. He averages 37 yards a kick, and this is Steve Rosga calling for the fair catch at his own 19-yard line. We've got 10:35 left in the first quarter, no score. And the Buffs come out on offense, led by John Hessler, the quarterback who threw for 5 touchdowns last week against Oklahoma State. On the year, a little over 1,600 yards thrown. A CU school record, 16 touchdown passes and only 5 interceptions.
Hey, speaking of school records, when you add in what Coy Detmer has done, they now have 23, which breaks the old Big 8 record. But right now, Kansas State also with 23 touchdown passes this year. That thing might be decided next week in Manhattan.
Buffs first and 10 at their own 19. First time they've touched the ball today. Hessler going deep. He's looking for James Kidd, and a flag is down. Clayton Baker was the defensive back covering Kidd.
Well, Baker will try to jam Kidd, and that's a very, very tough proposition. James Kidd with exceptional speed does a nice job of creating the contact with that left arm. You can see again Baker over the top, and the wind taking that football almost to the boundary.
That's a 15-yard penalty, defensive interference on Missouri, so the ball now placed at the CU 34. And an automatic first down. Phil Savoy not in the starting lineup for the Buffs today, suspended for 1 game for unspecified reasons. He violated team rules. And up the middle goes Herschel Troutman. A 6-yard jaunt stopped by Bo Adams. Here is that starting unit for CU on offense. Hessler, the quarterback, Troutman, the running back, Lepsis, who scored his first touchdown in a CU uniform, the tight end. The wide receivers are Caruth, Kidd, and Chris Anderson, filling in for the suspended Savoy. The offensive line, Welsh filling in for the injured Kyle Smith, along with Irwin, Stoltenberg, Nioli, and Melvin Thomas. 2nd and 5. Hessler wants to throw again. Wide open, Lepsis over the middle. Deep into Missouri territory, and finally downed at the 32-yard line by Bo Adams once again.
Colorado's done a nice job this entire year. Both Detmer and now Hessler a play-action fake. You can see as he rides Troutman into the line and then puts that ball in his stomach, it just gives the defense 1 more second of confusion. They're not exactly sure as to if the ball was given off or not. Hessler, again, the nice play fake. Lepsis from left to right is all by himself. Matt Lepsis has had himself a solid year catching the football. That's number 21, I believe.
26-yard pickup for the big tight end. CU on first down. Troutman wriggles his way inside the 30 to Monty Cross the stop. And when you see number 88 catch the ball for CU, do you have flashbacks to your own playing days?
Well, that's a long time ago, but
you were 88, correct?
Yes. You talk about balance in the team. We mentioned Phil Savoy not playing today. He had 45 catches. Caruth's got 43. Lepsis now with 21. Chris Anderson with 17. So they really spread the ball around nicely.
Troutman inside the 25, very close to the first down. Here's that Missouri defense. They play a 5-2, 5 men up front. Budgets, Middlestat, Steve Martin, their leading sack man, Pat Ivey and Justin Wyatt. The 2 linebackers are Chapman and Love, and the DBs are Chris Adams, a good one, and Devontae Cross and Clayton Baker. Baker leading the team, along with Bo Adams, with 3 interceptions. This is Troutman. Again, close to the first down.
Well, I think he's short, though.
If he doesn't make it, they're looking at 4th down. Yes, it is 4th down. And about a half yard to go. Buffs keep the offense on the field. Looks like they're going to go for it. They're down to the Missouri 24. It's 4th and 1. Troutman again. This time he has it. And pushes his way to the 21. Steve Martin makes the stop.
Well, they run the ISO, and it's a very difficult play to stop for less than a yard if you have a back that has good vision. And that time Troutman doesn't force it right up into the intended hole, but cuts it back to the soft spot and picks up the first down. Herschel Troutman is going to be a guy the next couple of years I think you'll see, along with the other two backs, Henry and Barnes, really get the football that much more.
Hessler with 5 men going out for the pass. He's looking for Kidd. He's got him. No. Dropped as he crossed the goal line. Would have been a heck of a catch if he held on.
I'll tell you what, it was a heck of a throw. Kidd and Carruth to the right just cross in their patterns, and John Hessler put this thing right on the money. James Kidd lays out, can't come up with the football. So far, Hessler in this win has been extremely accurate. Good protection. Watch where this thing comes down. Almost a great one.
Can't get much better than that on the throw. On 2nd and 10, Troutman down to the 18-yard line, and Damani Cross the tackle.
Tell you what, it's kind of nice to have a 205, 210-pound free safety. Watch how quickly Herschel Troutman stops when Damani Cross gets there. This looked like it might pop for a long gainer. That's a big safety.
Boy, and he is a hitter. Their leading tackler with 11.5 a game. He's also forced 3 fumbles. You can understand why. Again, no running backs behind Hessler as Troutman lines up wide. From behind, he fumbles. Recovered by CU. Hessler hit from behind by the defensive end, Justin Watt.
Well, you'll see from the right side, he's got Ray Carruth crossing. See if we can see him right there. And I don't think John Hessler ever saw him, or Carruth was not in the pattern progression, but good backside pressure from Missouri, and now a long field goal attempt by Colorado. Andrew Welsh, by the way, on the recovery.
Voskerichian lines up for a 44-yard field goal attempt. He's perfect from 40 to 49 yards. He's 2 for 2. And on the year, he's a very impressive 10 for 12 with the wind behind him. Voskerichian, no good. A little short and a bit to the right. So the Buffs on their first drive fall short. We're still at zeros with 5:50 to go in the first quarter.
Because the world can be a big, scary place. The Chevy Blazer with the exclusive driver control system. It's nice to know it's there.
Can I help you? Yeah, Coors Light, please.
Colorado, Rocky Mountain high, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Shadow from starlight, soft and a lullaby. Rocky Mountain high, Colorado. Rocky Mountain high, Colorado. Rocky Mountain high,
0-0 at Folsom Field. We've got 5:50 to go first quarter. Each team has had the ball once. It's Missouri's turn once again. It's first down at their own 27. Jones throwing and complete. The receiver was Martez Young. He picks up about 5 yards. Let's go down to the field, Mark McIntosh.
Thanks a lot, Les. You know, Neil Voskerichian's got to think that the kicking gods are not with him today. The wind normally today has been blowing very strongly from the north to the south, but just seconds before Voskerichian got ready to kick that ball, it switched to the south, and was blowing very strongly when he tried to kick that field goal. So he was actually kicking into the wind, and wouldn't you know it, now the wind's blowing again from the north. It's going to be that way all day. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Mark. 2nd and 6 for Mizzou. Buffs really have it stacked on the line on defense. They're looking for the run, and they get it. This is Brock Olivo. Picks up a couple of yards. Ryan Olson and Matt Russell both in on the tackle.
There's a guy that's had a heck of a year. Matt Russell, who'll be back this year, or next year, I should say. About 12 tackles per game, really solidifies the Buffs inside. Prototypical middle linebacker. He's a guy that you get the impression he thinks, he eats, he sleeps, he breathes football. That's what you have to play that position.
Yeah, you know it was like that at home. His dad played for Baylor, his brother at Arkansas. And another good stop by Russell. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, Matt Russell is to Olivo about the time Brock gets the football. And there's no place to run.
Once again, Mark Norris on the punt. Excuse me, Jason Smith on the punt. Almost blocked. In fact, it might have been tipped. And that ball goes out of bounds at the CU 44-yard line. I think Maurice Enriquez might have gotten a fingertip on that ball.
I tell you what, it looked like the referee said no, the ball wasn't blocked, but there was contact on the punter. So, interesting call.
We'll take a break after the 26-yard punt. CU will have the ball, 0-0.
I trained my boy McNeely to go toe-to-toe with the champ, and he did for 89 seconds. He didn't back down from any combinations thrown at him, and he ain't backing down from this one.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
So good you'll eat it backwards. Show 'em, kid.
Oh, boy. The new 1-2 combination cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Hey, McNeely, how many slices am I holding?
Patience is a virtue.
But why wait? Right now is a great time to get your best deal on a new Nissan.
Life has its ups and downs.
Actually, there's nothing down when you finance a 96 Ultimate GXE with alloy wheels and you make no payments until 1996. Or lease a 96 Maxima GXE with alloy wheels for just $299 a month for 36 months with $2,000 down.
Rock and roll will live forever.
But these deals won't, so get a great deal today. Why wait?
Hey, Flyboy, comfy in there? Unless you check the hard side suitcase, we have a major crisis downstairs.
You thought Coach was bad.
It's a war zone down here. That's why I check the Samsonite hard side. Hey, isn't that your bag? When you check a hard side, your clothes won't come out looking like origami.
Sir, could you please return to your seat?
Samsonite hard side. Life is hard. Don't go soft. What's this thing do?
We have a scoreless game in part because both offenses have been hampered somewhat by the wind. CU has had the best shot at scoring, putting some points on the board, but Neil Voskerichian couldn't convert a 44-yard field goal. Hessler on 1st down finds Ray Caruth, and he is across midfield down to the Missouri 46-yard line. Kevin Ford the stop.
Well, in this offense, you want to try to get the football as quickly as you can to those that can make things happen. You can see John Hessler a little bit behind Ray Caruth, but a very easy pattern, simple, doesn't take long to throw. Ray Caruth from left to right, get him the ball and let him create with that tremendous speed.
And he certainly can create. He leads the Big 8 in yards per game receiving with just under 99. 1st down for the Buffs. They're at the Missouri 46. Hessler looking again. This time he finds Kidd. Just short of the 1st down. The Buffs down to the 32-yard line.
Again, we talked about the protection. For the most part this year, Colorado quarterbacks have been able to stand in the pocket and wait for a receiver to get open. Excellent job up front by that offensive line.
2nd and 1. They fake the reverse. Hessler looking deep, looking for Caruth. That gets caught up in the wind, and it's intercepted. picked off by Kaldrinoff Easter. Another of those Missouri freshmen, and that's his second interception of the season.
I'll tell you, even if the ball had not been thrown into the wind, there's just no place to fit that football in. They try to run the fake reverse, hoping that the free safety will bite, and Eastler, you'll see from the left side of your screen, is directly in the middle of the field. You're not going to be able to throw that ball over the top unless the free safety comes out of center field, and Eastler played it perfectly. You can see Eastler left side of your screen, and the wind really affected that pass.
And Carruth saw it was hung up there and tried to make the adjustment and come back for it. But Kaldrinoff Easter was there before him. So Missouri with the ball at its own 13. This is Olivo, and he's tripped up across the 15 by Ron Merkerson. Brock Olivo is out of Washington, Missouri. He's just a sophomore and a very talented one. Against Northeast Louisiana this year, he ran for 222 yards.
And when your offense is struggling and you really can't throw the ball much, you've got to have somebody step up and pick up a few yards for you. Missouri very ground-oriented this year.
2nd and 7. On the option, Jones pitches. This is Olivo. Nowhere to go, though. And on his back quickly is the defensive guard, Ryan Olson.
Boy, dangerous. I don't know if the wind affected the pitch or not, even on the option, but Olivo had a difficult time gathering that thing in, a little bit behind him, and Brock looked like he had to check the print on the ball before he started to run once again. Option is such a precise play. You've got to catch it and be going 100 miles an hour. If you have to slow down at all, it usually doesn't work.
Olivo was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd and 7. Missouri at its own 16-yard line. On the blitz, Jones rolling out. He'll keep it. Ooh, and really cracked out of bounds by Alan Wilbon, the CU linebacker.
Jones showing you a pretty good ability to run the football, and again, the rollout designed to buy him some time. Gets away from pressure inside by Colorado. It's a good job here picking up the first down. He pays for it, too. Excellent hit that time by Ryan Black. But Missouri first down.
Tigers at their own 24. This is the fullback, Antoine Johnson. He's up to the 29. Ryan Olson, the tackle. Missouri comes into this game with a 2-7 record. In conference, however, 0-5. Their only 2 wins have come against teams that just entered Division I play, North Texas and Northeast Louisiana.
Tell you what, if they don't win today, they'll be winless in conference play, first time since 1971.
On 2nd and 5, Jones. This was designed for him to run it. He was very close to the first down. Might be a fumble.
Usually when officials don't point right away, it means the offense retains the football. This is a quarterback draw, running behind the lead back. Ball looked like it was out.
Looked like Kerry Hicks stripped him, and he lost the ball just before he hit the ground, but that's not the way the officials saw it. There's a timeout on the field right now with 2 seconds to go. Oh, excuse me. The quarter is ending. The quarter has ended, and we are scoreless. Missouri and CU 0-0.
Nice door. Garage doors. I love them. I'm the Ankmar door guy. That's a beauty. It's the Ankmar Renaissance 2000. And here comes the legend with a LiftMaster door opener. I can tell it's a LiftMaster by how smooth it operates. Ooh. Obviously not an Ankmar. You probably don't think much about garage doors until you need one. When you do, think Ankmar, the door of choice.
Receive a second remote free with any LiftMaster purchase.
Ankmar doors. You gotta love them.
Boy, I love this Denver Post.
You got the Post without consulting me?
Yeah, got 6 months free.
Yeah, but I'm the man.
Well, man, you need Empire Magazine on Sunday. Western people, Western food, Western getaways, and Friday's bigger weekend is more fun than ever, plus 6 months free.
That totally undermines my hunter-gatherer role.
What? You want to spirit off the porch tomorrow?
Spear good.
Buy 6 months of the Post, get 6 free, plus 6 a.m. delivery. Call 832-3232.
While we've been in pursuit of perfection, other car companies have been in pursuit of us. But they always come up short. The new Lexus GS 300. Faster, smoother than ever before. Pulling ahead's never been easier. See the new 5-speed automatic GS 300 at your Lexus dealer.
We're back at Folsom Field in Boulder. You see a shot of the Dell Ward Center at the north end of the field, and you also see the score. There isn't one, actually, as Dave and I get ready to start the second quarter with you. Missouri has the ball at its own 33-yard line. It's 3rd and 1. Jones on the sneak. Looks like he has it. First quarter stats for you. Not much to talk about there. Just a total of 108 yards between the two teams. The only turnover, a CU interception. John Hessler put it up in the wind, and Keldrinoff Easter came down with it for Missouri. They're going to measure. And Mizzou does have the first down. At their own 34.5-yard line. Dave, you think Rick Neuheisel right now a little worried that his team might have come out the same way they did against Kansas a few weeks ago, a bit listless?
Well, I think you always worry when you're not ahead in a game that you feel like you should win comfortably, but still a lot of time left in this game.
Looks like Missouri came off the ball a little too soon right there. What we had there was a failure to communicate.
Ball, false start offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Still shaking the bush, boss.
So Corby Jones and his offense will be staring at a 1st and 15. Back at their own 29. This is Olivo. He trips on the turf before anybody hits him. Matt Russell and Kerry Hicks were the first black jerseys to tag him down. I think he lost a yard on that play.
Really no place to run. That time Kerry Hicks did a good job on the guard, Chris Barrows, and just stuffed the play. And by the time Olivo got to the line of scrimmage, there was nothing there. The longer you let a team like Missouri hang around, however, they start to get excited. They start to get some energy in that huddle. And right now we're in the second quarter of a scoreless game, and I'm sure Missouri is feeling pretty good about themselves.
2nd and 16 for the Tigers. Corby Jones wants a timeout. That's the first timeout taken this half, and we'll take one also. We'll come back.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through. It's very
Plus a lease rate of just $349 a month.
All in all, it's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
I don't know why Lindros has got to drop the gloves. Neely and Stevens, they don't fight anymore. They're respected around the league. And besides, I mean, penalty minutes doesn't equate to toughness in my book. I mean, when I think tough, Doug Gilmour's tough. Mark Messier's tough.
You need some more rouge.
Here? Mm-hmm. Thanks. You know, your foundation has looked great lately.
Thanks.
I just started my own company, so I leased a new Volkswagen Passat. $259 a month, it's the best deal around. I'm marketing an electronic toll collecting device, so you'll never have to stop to pay for a toll again. Good news for drivers. Passat's a true German road car. Track-correcting rear suspension, rack and pinion steering, and oh yeah, four-wheel disc brakes. But hopefully you won't be using them to stop at toll booths anymore.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Today's game is brought to you by Dodge, by Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites, by Blackjack Pizza, and by First Bank.
Les Shapiro and Dave Logan with you at Folsom Field. That's not a special effect, folks. The wind is whipping down the plain. Grocery bags, popcorn boxes, styrofoam hats all over the field today. This is Brock Olivo on 2nd and 16. Kerry Hicks and Ryan Olson, two defensive linemen, make the stop. That'll bring up 3rd and 14 for Missouri. We've been pretty lucky all year, actually, as far as weather goes for these CU games. Home and away. Worst conditions probably at Iowa State in Ames, Iowa, where the wind was whipping pretty good there, too.
Yeah, we certainly have seen it worse in Ames over the years in terms of precipitation.
I would say minus 30 degrees 2 years ago was certainly worse. On the pitch, Oliva hit quickly. Missouri went nowhere on that drive. It'll bring up 4th and long. Ryan Black makes the initial hit on Oliva.
And Corby Jones walked directly over to the coaching staff with his palms raised skyward as if to say, well, I did make the right play, didn't I? That time, the blitz forces Jones to pitch a little bit before he wants to, and Black is right there.
I know Corby Jones ran
Holding
the action
offense. The penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Corby Jones, the Missouri quarterback, ran the option in high school. I just haven't been very impressed with his proficiency today.
Well, one of the problems, you're playing a very quick defense, and you can't throw the football very well. Then when they get you in 3rd and long, they put too many people up in the box for you to block in an option attack.
Jason Smith, an end-over-end punt. Rosga chooses to run it back, and he has a little room. Finally brought down at his own 43. A little scuffling going on in the field. Mark Allnut made the tackle.
I'll tell you what, the CU band had their hats before the game. They were flying all over the place. I mean, I bet everybody's got everybody else's hat on.
That was a 41-yard punt. And a return by Rosga of 9 yards. 12:34 to go in the first half. We are scoreless. John Hessler on the day has thrown for 46 yards and 1 interception. This is London Henry, his first carry of the afternoon, and he slices up to his own 47. Call it a gain of 5 before Kay Blake makes the stop.
Nice way to describe it, too. Lyndon Henry is much more of a slashing kind of running back than Herschel Troutman. You'll see him stretch the bounce play, then watch the cutback ability. He slices inside a couple of attempts of tackles.
6-foot sophomore out of Port Arthur, Texas, came into the game with 359 yards rushing. On 2nd and 5, Henry again. Picks up another 4. He's a yard short of the first down, just past midfield. Steve Martin the stop.
Again, behind that big offensive line, you can see Heath Irwin and Ryan Stoltenberg getting a good push on the left side. Lyndon Henry just burrowing in behind him.
34-year-old Rick Neuheisel. He can become the first rookie coach at CU to take his team to a bowl game. I think he's pretty much assured of that. Lendon Henry very close to the first down. DeMonte Cross the stop.
I tell you what, if he gets this first down, it's because of tremendous second effort by Lendon Henry. Good job by DeMonte Cross. Wait and look and see where he is hit. You can see now, watch the push, the leg strength to drive ahead. Judging from that mark, I think he's got the first down.
I do too. They're going to measure it anyway. I think he's got it by about a foot. Well, I might be losing my hair, but I still have my eyesight.
I was going to say a Sasquatch foot maybe, but a foot nevertheless.
So it's a first down for CU at the Missouri 47-yard line.
See, I think under normal conditions, this would be the point in the field, and especially in first down, where you probably see Colorado try to get the ball down the field with some sort of play action.
It's going to be difficult to throw long, however, because there is that stiff wind in CU's face right now. Flags down, and the flags won't even stay in one place.
Start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, the Buffs have just broken the Big 8 record for penalties in a season with 90. And I would guess, Dave, that that has as much to do with a young team as anything else.
If you're a lip reader, you can see Rick Neuheisel say, "Who was that on?" And then you probably don't want to watch the rest of what he had to say.
If you're a lip reader, you're blushing right now. Hessler tries to do the quick slant to Matt Lepsis, and that falls incomplete.
See, you got a hot read. They bring people from the secondary, and that time Hessler expected Matt Lepsis to break it a little bit more toward the middle, and Lepsis kind of heading up the field. Right side of your screen, you'll see both linebackers, and here's the safety as well. You don't need really to square that thing off. If you're one of the hot receivers, once you get inside, just a quick stick move, and then you've got to get to the middle of the field.
By hot receiver, you mean the one intended the pass to get to?
Absolutely. The guy when the defense brings too many people to block that you want to dump the ball to.
On 2nd and 15, they try the slant from the other side. Are they going to call this incomplete or a fumble? I think they're calling it a fumble, a catch and a fumble.
Yeah, there was no call immediately of an incomplete pass, so this actually will gain yardage. And again, speed across the middle. Ray Caruth. Now I think are they going to bring it back?
I'm a little confused. That where they're placing the ball right now is in between where Caruth caught it and the ball went out of bounds.
Well, we'll call that a politically correct call.
Straddling the fence. So call it a completion to Caruth. And the Buffs have 3rd and 8 at the Missouri 45-yard line.
Blitz again.
And again, the slant, this time Chris Anderson. Oh, if he could have stayed on his feet, he had the end zone. Instead, he's brought down at the 30-yard line by Clayton Baker, and another CU first down.
I tell you what, he's been a big play receiver. This is the 10th time they've thrown the ball to Chris Anderson on 3rd downs this year, and the 10th time that Colorado's had a first down because of the throw. Chris Anderson, a big, strong wide receiver, and you can see 17 catches on the year. Clayton Baker had a tough time getting him to the turf.
Chris Anderson starting today in place of the suspended Phil Savoy. He gains the first down. This time Lendon Henry pushes the pile inside the 25. Talk about brute strength.
The old counter tray play, and most times you're taught to read the block or the blocking of the two linemen who pull. That time Lendon Henry said, to heck with this. I'll just get down behind him and get what I can get. Take a look, left guard, left tackle, both pull. Henry just actually runs away from most of the blocks. Andrew Welsh at left tackle. Matt Lepsis jumps offsides. Well, there is no rhythm to this football game at all.
Maybe we should play some music over the PA system.
Okay.
Dead ball, false start offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Another one against CU. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. Again, the Buffs going into the win. We've got 9:20 to go, first half. Scoreless tie. Henry. Might have squeaked a yard, maybe 2 out of it. Tim Middlestead, the first man to hit him. Brings up 3rd and 8. Final home game of the year for CU. You see the pylons, the bright orange markers on the goal line. They can't even stand up in this wind. Hessler wants to throw. Has his man Kidd for the first down and inside the Missouri 20-yard line. Keldron off Easter, the tackle.
Colorado empties the backfield, and again, Kidd from the right side is all by himself. When they put Lyndon Henry in motion, Missouri adjusted. You can see Kidd, the middle of the 3 receivers, just runs a little smash route, and he is all by himself.
James Kidd with 2 catches today for 18 yards. And the Buffs with a first down. Lyndon Henry hit at the line of scrimmage by DeMonte Cross. Boy, he had a game last week against Kansas. 15 tackles. And he knows how to defend the CU team also. Last year against the Buffs, 18 tackles.
Well, and they use him so much in the running game. As a free safety, when you're up close to the line of scrimmage, you're going to make some tackles because you're unaccounted for in that running game by the offense.
2nd and 10. Hessler on the play action, escapes 1 rusher. Over the middle, complete to Kidd, down to the 2-yard line. Great patience by Hessler, and Kidd makes his 3rd catch of the afternoon.
I'll tell you, good job by John Hessler. Again, as he avoids the sack, it looks like the play might be down. And also an excellent job by James Kidd of making himself available to a quarterback in trouble. See him come back to the quarterback and just get himself in position, get himself into a lane where that quarterback can see it. James Kidd, I can guarantee you, was not the primary nor the secondary receiver on that play. But he continues to work himself into a position where John Hessler can see him.
Buffs offense leads the Big 8 in passing. It's 1st and goal at the 1. Hessler with time again, wide open. Lutsis, touchdown, CU. Boy, you talk about it working just the way you drew it up.
Lepsis on the left side of your screen. They fake the ISO to the left. You can see the back of the end zone. That's where you teach that receiver to be. And he is.
First points of the day for either team. And now Voskerichian lining up for the extra point. And halfway through the 2nd quarter, we finally have a score. It's CU 7 and Missouri nothing.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
Good morning, Ty Kirby. Oh, jeez. Hello, Ty Kirby. Rubbish. Sit up straight. Don't talk too much.
Good day to you, Mr. Kirby. Good luck, sir.
Good. My lucky shoes.
Hello, I'm Ty Kirby. I'm ready.
Hi, I'm Dave Logan. If you've heard me talk about all the convenience First Bank offers, then you already know about the 24-hour telephone banking. But did you know you can actually open a new account or even apply for a loan right over the phone? At First Bank, you'll talk to local people who know you and care about your needs. So opening a new account or applying for a loan can be as easy as picking up the phone. First Bank, check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado bank for you.
Equal housing lenders.
A lot of smiling faces here at Folsom Field after the Buffs put up their first touchdown of the afternoon. Hessler to Matt Lepsis for the score. And now Jason Leslie will kick off. Navholt's holding it because of that wind. Randy Potter and Kenyatta Williams back there. The man on the left is Williams. He's the dangerous one, averaging 21 yards a kickoff return. Leslie gets his foot into it, halfway through the end zone, and Potter decides to touch it down. Let's take a look at that last touchdown.
Well, all the action will go left. John Hessler, again, the nice play fake with the ball in his stomach. Got a receiver in the first level outside, and then Matt Lepsis comes from left to right, right on the end line, the back of the end zone. And a pretty good scoring drive by Colorado, 12 plays, 58 yards. It took them a bit longer than we have seen this year, 5 minutes and 32 seconds, but John Hessler, his 17th touchdown pass of the year, this one to Matt Lepsis.
And now Corby Jones and the Missouri offense on the field. Jones hasn't done much in the passing game, but he has the wind behind him on this drive. And he'll come out throwing. The intended receiver was the fullback Antoine Johnson. It's incomplete.
See, the problem when you really have difficulty throwing the football and you attempt to get some sort of play action on first down, you come up with second and long, and what you do basically is run the ball. So teams that don't throw it well really put themselves in a bind. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You need to throw it a little bit early to be successful, but if you don't complete them, then you're really in a hole.
And this young man has not been very successful throwing it, just 36% on the year. He's looking at 2nd and 10.
See, now you're looking third and about 8.5.
The give was to another fullback, Ron James, and Kerry Hicks makes the stop quickly.
Now you're exactly where you don't want to be against the CU defense if you're Missouri. Third down and long, you know you get some sort of stunt package. They probably bring people up at the line of scrimmage because they expect you to run the ball, and they force you to think about throwing the ball.
Yeah, to give you an idea how much this Missouri offense has struggled this year, they've scored just 17 touchdowns in 9 games. That's less than 2 touchdowns a game. On 3rd and 8, Mizzou at its own 22. A good rush put on. Jones gets rid of it for first down yardage. Rosga makes the tackle on Rosetnew Jenkins.
I'll tell you, pretty good throw there. Corby Jones will roll to his left. Missouri trying to buy themselves some time against this rush. Steps up in the pocket, squares his shoulders, and throws a dart.
Jenkins was a darn good receiver for Missouri last year. He caught 40 passes, but he's had some off-the-field problems. And for a while there, he was suspended from the team. You saw the talent there. 1st and 10. On the roll. A penalty flag is down, and Jones just dumps it out of bounds.
I think Missouri may have had 2 men moving at one time. The tight end reset, then a receiver went in motion. Let's see.
Putting on the good rush were Greg Jones and Kerry Hicks, forcing Jones to dump it.
Illegal shift, 2-man motion, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
So the Buffs take the penalty, which will send Missouri back 5 yards. That'll bring up 1st and 15. How about that score in Ann Arbor, Michigan, huh? The Wolverines leading Purdue 5-0 in the 4th quarter. 5-0.
But we understand Purdue has the bases loaded with 1 out.
Mizzou at its own 27. Tell you what, that ball was handed off just before Kerry Hicks put the hit on the quarterback, Corby Jones. I've never seen a guy get in the backfield so quickly.
Neither is Corby Jones, to tell you the truth. And take a look. Hicks almost takes the handoff. And if that's not a play that is called for Ron James to get the ball, you can see Kerry Hicks is going to have a sack. We've got an injured Buff on the field.
It's Ron Merkerson, the linebacker, who's been out with an ankle injury. There is a timeout on the field, and we're going to take a break. 7-0, CU.
In Colorado, we take some things very seriously.
All right, the blackjack's here. I wondered if you were gonna make it.
You know how serious I take my blackjack pizza.
Blackjack Pizza. This is serious pizza at a ridiculously low price. Get a large 2-topping pizza for only $6.99. Call Colorado's own Blackjack Pizza.
Dear car owners, not everyone knows a car's suspension consists of the shocks, struts, steering, and alignment. Another thing not everyone knows, Midas is a suspension expert. So if your car pulls, shimmies, or bounces, come to Midas for a thorough inspection and a guarantee on shocks and struts for as long as you own your car. That's the Midas way.
Presenting the BMW 7 Series, the luxury car with the soul of a BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Some instruction on the CU sideline from offensive line coach Terry Lewis. However, Missouri has the ball right now. 2nd and 13. The Tigers at their own 29-yard line, down by a touchdown. That's Jenkins in motion. And the give goes to Kenyatta Williams. 2nd and long, they pick up about 3 yards.
You see, Kenyatta Williams does a nice job, again, in an obvious passing situation of just kind of finding that area and burrowing ahead.
Williams out of St. Louis Mo. A lot of these kids out of the St. Louis area staying home. The quarterback, Corby Jones, is a hometown kid from Columbia Mo, where the University of Missouri is located. On 3rd and 7. Jones rolling out. He was looking for Jay Murchison, incomplete, but we have a penalty flag down. Well, the call goes against CU, defensive holding.
I'll tell you, that's going to be a first down, too.
First down.
That's the kind of play that just kills you. Now, I know Rick Neuheisel is not pleased with what's happened this year with respect to penalties, and that's something he's going to have to address continuously as they get ready for next year. You just cannot give teams 2nd and 3rd opportunities and expect to be the kind of team that I know he wants to have here.
And if you're just joining us, CU has broken the Big 8 record for penalties in a season. On first down, the option. This is Williams. He gets across midfield to the CU 47-yard line before Steve Rosga makes the stop.
First time we've seen this afternoon that Missouri really runs the option to perfection. You can see Jones brings it to Jones and then pitches, and nice move here. As Williams, the nice little shake, picks up an additional 3 or 4 yards. Now you're in a situation where you don't mind. You're a running team, 2nd and 2. You've got 2 downs to pick it up.
At the CU 47. Williams again. Very close to the first down. He's at the 45. Greg Jones, first man to hit him. Williams is a transfer from Indiana University. He sat out last year after transferring. So this is his first action as a Missouri Tiger this year. And we'll get another measurement. Shane Gang's been busy today. About 2 inches short of the first down. So that'll bring up 3rd and 1 for Mizzou. Funny about this Missouri offense, it's run 31 more plays than the opposition this year, but it's gained 600 fewer yards. All they need is 1 right here. On the sneak, it's Jones. Looks like he has it. Yes, he does. Didn't get much, then again, didn't need much.
Just try to get as low as your offensive lineman. You see Jones, pretty good job of just getting down behind those big folks up front, trying to pry the ball out of his hands.
A decent job by a Missouri offensive line that's not very big. Across the front, they go 253, 277, 255, 269, and then there's the right tackle, Chris Buck, who is 313. Jones in the flat to his tight end Lingerfelt, and he falls down at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. T.J. Cunningham and Donnell Liamidi the tackle. Bill Lingerfelt, a junior out of Kansas City. His 12th catch of the year. Second and 5. Papers flying all over in that wind. This is Williams. Couldn't get much going. He's down at about the line of scrimmage. Matt Russell, the tackle. Starting to wonder if there's something wrong with their leading rusher, Brock Olivo. We haven't seen him in the game the last couple of drives. Williams has been carrying most of the burden.
You see Williams looking over to the bench, kind of shaking his head. That's a look that says, Coach, there wasn't much there. Couldn't do much with that one.
On 3rd and 6, for the first time today, this crowd comes to life. Jones incomplete. There was a miscommunication between himself and the running back, Kenyatta Williams, the intended receiver.
Tell you what, he's got him wide open, too. Colorado again with the blitz. They don't get there, and if they've been able to connect, Williams might have scored on that play.
So a punting situation for Missouri. That's Jason Smith lined up at his own 45, punting to Rosga. Not a very good kick off the side of the foot. Let's see where they mark it. At the CU 18-yard line. So while the CU offense comes out onto the field, we'll take a break. It's 7-0 Buffs.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
This sounds like a nice place. You can watch your own cable TV.
Discovery, TNT.
Enjoy Ben & Jerry's ice cream or a sexy magazine. Relax with music, tone your muscles. But don't make a reservation, because this is one of Colorado's newest prisons. They did the crime, and they're doing the time in style at your expense.
It's better than most people would probably think prison is.
News 4's Brian Moss has a report that will forever change your idea of prison. Is there a purpose for pampering prisoners? Monday at 10 on News 4.
Down on the border, a big appetite comes with the territory. Out here, people demand good food, and they know just where to get it. On the border. Things are better on the border.
Back at Folsom Field, a minute and a half to go in the first half. Lendon Henry on the carry. And he is up to his own 41-yard line, a gain of 23.
Well, the old cliche, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, I think applies to this particular play. Nice little cutback, and Lendon Henry just does not go down. Runs over his own guys. Missouri's trying to grab the football. Port Arthur, Texas, the home of another great running back, and little Joe Washington from the University of Oklahoma.
On first down, Hessler has his man. Caruth reaches back for it across midfield and down at the Missouri 40-yard line. We've got less than a minute to go in the half.
I'll tell you what, he is fast. Makes a nice adjustment on the ball thrown behind him, and all of a sudden just kind of squirts right through a couple of Missouri defenders.
A 19-yard pickup. Missouri scrambling to get some defensive players off the field. They did not do it in time. Caruth, another reception. And a penalty flag on. He fumbled. And Missouri recovered. I think it's coming back, though. DeMonte Cross is the one who recovered that fumble.
Yeah, Missouri did not get the people off the field, but again, the speed of your receivers on crossing routes, very dangerous.
Substitution, Missouri. Penalty will be enforced. 5 yards.
Cross with a big hit. Caruth is still down, and it's bad for Missouri because they turned him over right there. Take a look, Caruth running left to right. Cross will come up from the left side of your screen. Baker will grab him first, and then there's the big hit which knocks the ball free. And DeMonte Cross able to gather it in as well. Took a pretty good shot.
CU will keep the ball. Coming up at halftime, Mark McIntosh will have a live interview with head coach Rick Neuheisel and hear Rick's thoughts about the first half. Mark also will have a chat with two members of the CU women's basketball team for a preview of what should be another winning season. And then we'll hear from Dirk Martin talking about the brightest new stars on the CU faculty. That's all at halftime. Buffs on 1st and 5, keep it on the ground. Lendon Henry about a yard short of the first down. Actually, they might have to measure for this. He's closer than I thought.
Well, the Buffs still have 2 timeouts left. I'm sure Rick Neuheisel reminding John Hessler of that right now. But a nice little drive here right before halftime, at least to put him in position to get some more points on the board.
28 seconds left in the half. Buffs on the charge. They lead 7-0. And they are saying he got the first down. So Buffs with new life at the Missouri 29. And it's been hard to tell all day because the wind's been swirling so much, but it does look like the wind is in their face right now, blowing against the Buffs. That ball almost caught by Chris Anderson. Clayton Baker, the defender. Carruth leaving the field. He got banged up a couple of plays ago on the pass reception and fumble. So they'll take a look at him in the training room, give him a little extra time at halftime.
Almost a great catch by Chris Anderson. Excellent move to get inside the bump and run, and the slant throw a little bit too far. You can see he gets his fingertips on it, and then almost a terrific grab.
You know, if this was 20 years ago, he'd have had that stickum all over his fingers, and the ball would have stuck probably.
That's right.
Stuff's illegal now, though, on every level. 2nd and 10 for the Buffs. The swing pass to Troutman. He is inside the 25 to the 23. Joe Love, the linebacker, makes the stop.
I'll tell you, that's a great tackle by Joe Love, because if he doesn't get there, that's a touchdown. Little swing pass to the back. You see Love, the linebacker, is locked on. It looks like he's locked on man coverage. If he doesn't run Troutman down right here, Troutman, if he cuts up inside the block of Melvin Thomas, is going to score. You see the linebacker just tracking him down. You hope that you don't get man coverage in that situation. The linebackers drop back in their zones. You can pick up significant yardage. That's the play, if you remember back to the CSU game, that Colorado went about 90 yards from their own goal line with.
Neuheisel and Hessler talking about what to do on 3rd and 3 with 15 seconds left in the half. The Buffs still have 2 timeouts left on the board. Missouri has 1 timeout left. Switch that. Colorado has 1, Missouri has 2. $15 seconds to go. Buffs facing a 3rd and 3. Complete to Lepsis. He is short of the first down, however. DeMonte Cross hit him quickly. Well, we thought when the Buffs let go Christian Fourier to the NFL, they might have a problem at tight end, but Matt Lepsis has really stepped up to the plate. Well, don't forget to watch the Rick Neuheisel Show tomorrow night at 10:35. That's only on News 4. It's the new place for in-depth analysis and highlights of today's game. Our Mark McIntosh and the coach himself will also preview the Buffs' next game as they finish the regular season on the road against Kansas State. That's the Rick Neuheisel Show, Sunday nights at 10:35, right here on News 4. Your home for the CU Buffs. 8 seconds to go in the half. CU, looking at 4th and 2, has decided to go for the field goal. Neil Voskerichian comes out. He's 0 for 1 on the day in field goal attempts. This one will be a 39-yard kick into a swirling wind. I don't ever recall seeing this before, David, but at the goalpost, they've got a couple of guys with long poles holding the goalpost in place. Do they only do that when CU is kicking, or will they do that when Missouri is kicking?
Well,
also?
Actually, when Missouri is kicking, they go down and try to move it back and forth. It makes it's more of a challenge for the Missouri kicker than anything else. No, you know, with the wind blowing as hard as it is, I'm sure they want to have those things set. But I can't remember seeing something like that either at any level.
It looks like one of those devices you use when you're playing billiards and you can't quite reach the cue ball.
That would be a granny, I believe.
Is that what they call it?
Yes. Played a lot of pool in your day, have you?
I have not. I always thought a granny was your mother's mother.
Well, that's true also.
Voskerichian, a 39-yard field goal attempt to try and give the Buffs a 10-0 lead going into the locker room. He cannot get it off. Missouri picks up the ball. and finally downed at the 32-yard line as the clock expires. That is the end of the half. CU a heavy favorite in this game, leading just 7-0.
The snap is behind. He almost misses this ball. Boskarichian did not get a good piece of the ball at all. The snap was behind Steve Rosga, and the Buffs come away with nothing.
Let's go down to the field and Mark McIntosh.
Thank you very much. This wind makes the conditions out here very difficult.
Absolutely. It's something we're going to have to deal with. It's windy for both teams, but I'm pleased with the way our defense is playing. We just go in there and try to be more efficient on offense and hopefully put this thing away.
How much does it alter your game plan offensively because of this wind?
Well, a great deal. You know, a lot of stuff that we practiced this week just isn't going to work with the swirling wind, but we have enough left hopefully to win the game.
One thing I know, you might want to pull your hair out, more penalties, one thing you were trying to avoid.
Well, we got to cut that out. I'm going to go make a point about that right now.
Coach Rick Neuheisel, you know, last week, really for the first time all year, Rick Neuheisel admitted when he went into the locker room at halftime, he got on his football team, and you get the feeling we might have a similar type pep talk at halftime for the Buffs. Struggling offensively, it's very difficult in these wind conditions, but as you guys have mentioned, they've now broken the Big 8 record for penalties in the season, kind of stumbling through the first half, and that's not what they were looking for today after a couple of weeks of stumbling, actually almost a whole month of stumbling through the season. They were looking to come out with a concentrated effort today, and so far for the first 30 minutes, we really haven't seen that out of the Buffs. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Coach Neuheisel. We'll take a break right now at Folsom Field. We'll come back with all the halftime for you.
With a newly enhanced Vortec 4300 V6 engine and available push-button four-wheel drive, the GMC Jimmy can handle virtually anything you might encounter on the road. But you may appreciate Jimmy even more for its ability to get you out of your own driveway. Lease a new Jimmy for just $339 a month for 24 months at your Colorado GMC truck dealers now.
JC Fine Furniture brings you the greatest furniture offer in the country, maybe even the world. You pay nothing now, nothing in 1996, and nothing until 1997, interest-free. Get everything you want from America's finest furniture makers at our lowest prices, guaranteed. Best of all, you pay nothing until the year of 1997, interest-free. If you appreciate great value but demand quality first, get to KC Fine Furniture today. Do it now before it ends.
Some run, some swim, some jump. But only one Olympic team will lift, pack, and ship their way to Atlanta from around the world. From athletic equipment to telecommunications equipment that will help bring the games to the world. If they're here, chances are the company that guarantees delivery from around the globe got them here. Excepting those who made it entirely on their own. UPS, worldwide Olympic sponsor.
Looking for a great used car for under $7,000?
Believe me, a lot of people are.
That's why you better hurry to Big Mike's 7 and Under sale. 70 used cars, all reconditioned, fully emissioned, and ready to sell for under $7,000.
Cars and trucks, imports and domestics.
70 of them ready to roll at under $7,000.
And remember, I can finance almost anyone regardless of credit.
Saturday only, the 7 grand and under used car sale in Aurora at Big Mike Naughton Ford.
Help us turn on the lights, Thursday, November 30th.
Les Shapiro and Dave Logan with you. Halftime at Folsom Field, where the Buffs lead the Missouri Tigers 7-0. We just heard somebody say the Buffs stumbled through the first half, but I guess it's all right if you can stumble and still keep a lead.
Well, I guess it's all right in one sense, but I know Rick Neuheisel can't be pleased with what he's seen here in the first half. And yes, the conditions are very tough with the wind, and it affects a passing game like Colorado's. But the execution has not been where he needs to see it offensively. They put the ball on the turf. I don't think John Hessler's been as sharp as he would like to have been, and I'm sure Rick Neuheisel is an unhappy camper right now in that locker room.
Right. Offensively, not very impressive, but defensively, we talked at the beginning of the telecast about the Buffs having to step it up, because in their last 4 games, they have given up an average of 36 points. Not so today, throwing the shutout. in the first half.
They had played better defensively, and they played with a little enthusiasm, and yet realistically and being honestly, this is an offense they should dominate. Missouri is not a very good offensive football team, and A.J. Kristoff, the defensive coordinator here in Boulder, I'm positive is happy with what he's seen. They've been able to shut Missouri's attack down.
David, we touched on this a little bit last week about how impressive they have to be against lesser teams like Missouri to maintain a top 10 ranking. Buffs came into this game ranked number 9. Do you think a 14-0, a 21-0 game will hurt them at all?
I don't know. I can't figure the pollsters out, to tell you the truth. I think the coaching staff wants to see their team come out and establish themselves against clubs that they should beat easily and get on them right from the start. The longer, as we mentioned earlier, the longer you let a team like Missouri hang around, the more dangerous they can be because they start to think they actually have a chance to win.
All right, we've got a lot more coming up for you here at halftime, where the Buffs lead the Tigers 7-0.
You don't have to compete to be healthy and in shape. But for me, the challenge of racing is a real motivator. When I talk with my patients, I encourage them to find the exercise that works for them, because it doesn't matter what you do, just as long as you do it. I believe good health is a challenge and a choice. And that's why I'm a Porter Care doctor.
What could have happened? I ordered the pizza an hour ago. They probably got lost. Maybe they broke down. What if it's cold or has the wrong topping? Or say they drop it?
You can order pizza from someone who's never delivered before.
How hard can it be?
Or you can call Domino's. We've been delivering pizza free for over 30 years. So when it's got to be hot and it's got to be on time, it's got to be...
Now get the family feast. 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 1 order of twisty bread, and 4 soft drinks for only $13.99. Call 939-9999 for the perfect delivery from Domino's.
Many public service company customers are going to receive an energy refund soon. A refund that can help families who can't afford the same kind of energy needs that you and your family may take for granted. News 4 and the Colorado Energy Assistance Foundation hope you'll donate all or a portion of your utility refund. Look for this envelope in the mail, fill out your return stub, and mail it back. Your tax-deductible donation will help warm the hearts and homes of needy Coloradans.
At Porter Care, we have a long-standing belief about health care. It's a belief that moves beyond hospital walls. It's a belief that the most important thing we can help you achieve is better health. What you do with it is up to you.
Mom, did you see that?
Porter Care. Health care for the journey of a lifetime.
Halftime in Boulder, 7-0 Buffs. And we're going to talk a little basketball right now. Let's go down to Mark McIntosh. Mark?
Thank you very much, Les. The women's basketball team here at CU opens its season Wednesday night at home in the first game of the National Invitational Tournament preseason tournament. And joining us right now to talk about that, guard Alexis Feld and center forward swing person Reagan Scott. And first, I'll start with you, Reagan. This team with Shelly Sheets gone and Isabel Fizikowski gone, I think a lot of people may be looking at this as a rebuilding year. I don't think you women look at it that way.
No, we don't at all. We look at this as reloading, I guess is what you can say. We have a very good team. We've worked so hard and we're very tight-knit. And I don't think people have to worry about who's going to fill Shelly Sheets and Isabel's role. It's who's going to pick up on the bench. That was our big strength last year, was the bench coming in. We were very deep. But people should expect a lot of great things from the team, just as we do ourselves.
You yourself have got to be excited about this because you'll step into a starting role this year and look to contribute a lot.
Yeah, it's something I've been looking forward to for 2 years, and finally it's here. I just, hope I can help the team in any ways, whether that means I start or coming off the bench. Don't know if I blow away first.
Is it windy out here? Alexis at guard, Shelly Sheets is gone, and yourself and other girls have to pick up the slack there.
Yeah, definitely we have to pick it up and, continue what Shelly started, and hopefully we'll be able to do that.
I think in a sense, because Shelly was such a large focus of this team that a lot of girls, and this is not a knock against Shelly whatsoever, but are out to prove that this wasn't just the Shelly Sheets show, that there was a lot of talent at CU, and now you have that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we all learned a lot from Shelley, but she's gone, and now, you know, it's our turn to step up and, you know, continue with the tradition.
The credit to the program is I think this is the first time you all have ever played in a preseason NIT.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, too. I can't wait.
Now, Reagan, last year you all went to the Final 8. It was disappointing that you didn't beat Georgia and advance to the Final 4. What are the goals of this team this year?
The goals are pretty much the same as last year, only we can't look back on those teams in the past. We're a totally new team. We're going to do new things. We're going to go farther than other teams have. And, you know, we really want to have fun with it, because if you're not having fun with it, then there's no use doing it.
Your thoughts?
Same thing, you know, gotta have fun. It's the best, you know. And anytime you play basketball, you know, you're having fun. So, yeah, definitely.
Now, credit to you all that one of the reasons you all are hosting a preseason NIT tournament is the attendance figures you had last year. And I know you're expecting another big crowd, hopefully on Monday night, or Wednesday night, excuse me.
Yeah, the bigger the crowd, the better we play, and the more exciting. And if we have if the crowd's bigger, then we're able to host the next round game. So everybody come out and watch us play.
Okay, best of luck to both of you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go Buffs.
Go Buffs. I tell you, it's windy. When the wind can almost blow down Reagan Scott, and she's 6'2", you know that it's windy down here. And what Alexis was trying to explain, and maybe I can clarify on that a little bit, is that how they determine who has the next game. They host the first game on Wednesday night. If the team that they play in the second round, if CU would win, they check the attendance figures from the first round ball game. If CU's attendance was larger than, say, the team they will play in the second round, then CU will host that game. So it's important for CU women's basketball fans to make sure you show up on Wednesday night, because attendance factors will determine if the Buffs win the game, where they will play their second round game. So they open up Wednesday night against New Mexico State. The men's basketball team opens up with an exhibition game on Tuesday night at the Coors Event Center. So basketball is right around the corner before we're even through with the football season. Les, back up to you.
Thanks, Mark, and our best wishes to both the CU men's and women's team in the upcoming season. We'll take a break. We're at halftime in Boulder.
Hi, I'm Dave Logan. If you've heard me talk about all the convenience First Bank offers, then you already know about the 24-hour telephone banking. But did you know you can actually open a new account or even apply for a loan right over the phone? At First Bank, you'll talk to local people who know you and care about your needs. So opening a new account or applying for a loan can be as easy as picking up the phone. First Bank, check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado bank for you.
Equal housing lenders.
Chevy Blazer, the only sport utility vehicle with the driver control system. It's nice to know it's there.
We've got a new identity, we're laying down the pace.
News 4 and CBS, we're still leading the race. We're News 4.
The best and the brightest.
We're News 4. Standing tall in the shine. We're News 4.
The one that delivers.
No one. We're leading the way. News 4.
Life doesn't always treat you right. Make sure you have a health care plan that does. Sloan's Lake, health care plans for everyday life.
It's homecoming at CU. The Buffs leading Missouri 7-0 at halftime. You know, I want to talk about somebody right now. Somebody who's young, innovative, outgoing, and an excellent teacher. Now, you might think I'm talking about CU head coach Rick Neuheisel, but I'm actually talking about another of CU's brightest rising stars. Dirk Martin has the story about the man who had the scientific community buzzing with excitement.
What is
the largest hogback that we see around here, north of here. It's this huge ridge.
Whether it's teaching basic geology to undergraduate students at CU Boulder or roaming the Colorado Plateau in search of fossils, 32-year-old graduate student Steve Hasiotis has a passion for understanding Earth's history.
There's only one planet, and it's got a rich and very adventurous history in terms of life and geologic processes.
He's really knowledgeable of his information. He portrays it in a way that people who aren't geology majors or minors can understand it really well.
Hasiotis' keen interest has opened up a new path of discovery. He is a pioneer in the growing discipline of continental trace fossils, the study of the tracks, burrows, and nests left by insects and animals that flourished on Earth long ago.
Traditionally, paleontologists like body fossils such as this Triceratops at the CU Museum as evidence of insect and animal life from the past. But what Hasiotis has shown is that trace fossils are equally as important and are loaded with information.
But by looking at the traces, the nests and the burrows, you can make some inferences about how the insects worked during the day, how they lived their lives. And that's a whole new line of evidence that hasn't been available in paleontology and geology up till now.
We're looking like a detective would at a crime scene at pieces of evidence. You don't have bodies around, you don't have notes or maps, you just have these traces of a particular behavior of an organism or a group of organisms. And what I try to do is figure out who did it and why.
And that detective work is uncovering exciting information about the past. During a span of 2 years, Hasiotis has spearheaded the discoveries of the continent's oldest dinosaur tracks, termites' nests, crayfish fossils, and last spring in Arizona's Petrified National Park, a bee's nest, frozen in time more than 200 million years ago.
Yeah, this is a lug here. This is what's really important here.
What Steve has been doing in the past several years, including with this find, is showing that the trace of the organism is equally as important and can maybe even tell you more information than the fossil itself.
Yet despite these many discoveries, there are some who question the science of trace fossils.
Well, there are always skeptics in science, but I think the evidence stands by itself, that the burrows look like they were made by bees, they have the same shape.
Skeptics or not, Hasiotis plans to continue his trek through the past in search of the truth.
We'll return in just a second with stats and highlights from the first half and the second half kickoff.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
Between coaching, broadcasting, and family, there's not a lot of time for anything else. That's why I like First Bank. They're locally owned with over 60 locations right here in Colorado. You can call First Bank anytime, 24 hours a day. And the best deal of all is free checking. That means no minimum balance, no monthly service charges, and no annual fee and an ATM card, all for a full year. First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you.
Today's game is brought to you by Pizza Hut, by Coors Light, by Agmar Door, by Midas, and by Samsonite.
Along the Continental Divide, new frontiers are discovered every day.
it absolutely blew me away.
All my own dreams, open-minded.
A keen insight.
Powerful.
It's been a great learning experience.
Out west on a new frontier with a Buffalo Road, the University of Colorado.
Getting ready for the second half kickoff, but first let's take a look back to the first half. Some highlights and some stats for you.
And really, there weren't many highlights, to tell you the truth, in a 7-0 game. This is a terrific job by James Kidd on a pattern that saw him not the primary receiver. Kidd works himself back into the playing field, makes a great catch, which sets up the only touchdown of the first half. This a nice play-action fake by John Hessler. Matt Lepsis in the back of the end zone, right on the end line where you want him. Makes the catch, and the Buffs with a 7-0 lead. John Hessler able to, much like Coy Detmer, and much the way Rick Neuheisel would like, execute the play-action fake. Really does a good job of hiding that football, which will freeze that defense just for a split second, and Lepsis with the catch. Right before halftime, Colorado had a chance to up the lead to 10, but the snap a little bit behind, and I don't know if the hold was good or not, but Neil Voskerichian could not get the ball off the turf, and thus the lead stood at 7.
7-0, so you would assume not a lot of offense the first half, and you can tell right in the middle of that graphic, total yards, we only have 250 yards combined, both schools. Bit of a sloppy first half, 10 penalties, each team with 5. And Missouri held the ball for almost 17 of the 30 minutes. Missouri will kick off the second half. Doing the honors will be number 16, Mark Norris. And back to receive for the Buffs, Lendon Henry on your left and Herschel Troutman on your right. The last home game of the season for CU. They're trying to break a 2-game losing streak here at Folsom Field. Henry with the ball at his own 6-yard line. A big hole up the middle, and he is up to the 31. A return of about 25 yards. Now some scores from around the rest of the Big 8. Nebraska and Kansas, nothing there in the first quarter. Nebraska, 25-point favorite over the 8th-ranked team in the nation. Army leading Air Force down in Colorado Springs, that one for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. Northwestern has come back to take a lead over Iowa in the 4th. Northwestern trying to stay undefeated in the Big Ten and earn its way to the Rose Bowl in a battle with Ohio State. This is Troutman. DeMonte Cross makes the stop.
Much the same as we saw in the first half. DeMonte Cross, the free safety, up involved in the running game. You see kind of an interesting final from Ann Arbor. 5-0 Michigan. Kansas State getting warmed up for Colorado next week.
Oklahoma State leading Oklahoma. That one is in Norman. And no score with Colorado State and Hawaii. That one in Fort Collins. 2nd and 6 for the Buffs. This is Troutman again. Close to the first down before Tim Middlestad stops him. And one more score for you. Florida State, coming off that loss to Virginia, is leading North Carolina 28-12 in the 4th. That was a shocker, wasn't it, last week?
It's a fun game to watch, the last part of that football game.
That certainly was. Florida State, at the time, the 2nd-ranked team in the nation. And at the end of the game, they were left standing at the half-foot line. A loser to Virginia. Buffs pick up the first down. Herschel Troutman does it before being stopped by Keldon Easter.
I don't know. I think they're going to be real close on this one. They got it.
You had me nervous there for a second, big guy.
John Hessler's numbers 11 of 15. Pretty good numbers, especially throwing into into difficult conditions. The wind, the one thing really in conditions like this, the one thing that can disturb this passing game, they talk about bad weather and snow and rain. That's not the problem, but wind definitely is a problem for this offense.
On first down, Hessler, the play action, dumps it off to the tight end, Tennyson McCarty. And he gets to the 48-yard line. DeMonte Cross hit him good.
Nice job of poise here by John Hessler. He's got a deep post on his right side and what they call a bend in from his left. Not enough time to set in the pocket and see it, and then just dumps the ball, Tennyson McCarty. As long as you can get something positive on the play, you're going to be just fine. But what a great catch he had against Nebraska.
Second and 4. Yeah, his only touchdown of the season against Texas A&M. Hessler on the run, keeping his eyes downfield, throws a wobbler.
Boy, that's got to be a flag, and I don't see any flags coming out.
Intended receiver was Caruth, and just as he was going up for the ball, he got pushed in the back.
But John Hessler doesn't, again, have time really to set for this play, and Ray Caruth looks like the intended receiver got knocked down about 5 yards down the field. Now, Hessler buying himself some time here. The ball for Caruth, that's close. Kevin Ford does a nice job of closing on the play. Chris Anderson open deep, but you're not ever going to get the ball with your quarterback scrambling around for his life by running away from the quarterback.
3rd and 4 for the Buffs now. They're at their own 48. And Hessler brought down from behind by the defensive tackle, Pat Ivey. And you don't get away from that kid. He is the strongest Tiger in the weight room.
One of the few times that we've seen today that John Hessler really forced from the pocket. Missouri on this drive has done a nice job of making him step up and move around. You want that quarterback to be moving around to avoid the rush rather than looking downfield for the progression of that particular pattern.
Andy Mitchell, this will be his first punt of the afternoon, into the wind also. Almost blocked. Clayton Baker lets it drop, and it takes a CU roll. So Missouri, down by a touchdown, will start with the ball at its own 19. And here's a look at the Big 8 standings. Nebraska still undefeated. At the top of the pile, Kansas State and Kansas tied for second place. Colorado at 3 and 2, sitting in third place. And your AP top 10. Nebraska number 1. Kansas State, Colorado, and Kansas all in there. So 4 Big 8 teams in the top 10. Very impressive. Oklahoma was in the top 25 until losing last week to Kansas. First down for Mizzou on the option. Jones keeps it. And the freshman picks up 5 yards. Steve Rosga the stop.
There's Terry Lewis, the offensive line coach for the Buffs. Talking to his troops about that last series, I'm sure.
That's a radical doggone stunt, okay? But it worked because they covered our people.
Got a good group to work with this year. Those 3 in the middle especially. Stoltenberg, Irwin, and Chris Niola. On 2nd and 5. Antoine Johnson, the fullback. There's a lot of room there across midfield. Not fast enough, however, to get away from Donnell Liamidi. Still, Antoine Johnson runs the ball down to the CU 26.
And again, CU, watch inside. Both inside backers get caught inside with the blitz, and Johnson just hits that crease, and there is nobody there to stop him until Liamidi just runs him down from behind. Russell gets caught inside, and you can see Antoine Johnson on his way to a 50-yard gain. Liamidi and Rosga with pretty good speed to run him down, but that's a big back.
Denison, Texas, you have some relatives there, don't you?
Yes, my mother's hometown.
First down for Mizzou at the CU 25. Jones, incomplete. The receiver was the freshman Eddie Brooks. Had the ball in his hands for a split second, but couldn't hold on. Just got word from the CU sideline. Ray Carruth will return despite a bruised shoulder.
When Missouri's been able to complete a couple of passes, it's been with Jones moving out of the pocket. That's a pretty good close on the football by T.J. Cunningham. You got to expect with the running team, 2nd and 10, about 85% of the time you get a run here.
And we do get that. Brock Olivo back in the game for Missouri. Brings it inside the 20. He was shaken up in the first half some and was out of the ball game. Now he's back, and a penalty flag is down. Olivo, their leading rusher. He has 3 games of more than 100 yards this year, including last week against Kansas when he went for 102.
I think this is going to cost Missouri some yardage here. A little scuffling afterwards with Matt Russell and a couple of Missouri players.
Let's go down to the field and Mark McIntosh. Mac?
Thank you, Les. Brock Olivo was nicked up a little in the first half, but the reason he was out for those couple of series had nothing to do with injuries. But what Missouri wanted to do is go to a quicker back to give Colorado a different look defensively. They went with a faster back just to give the Buffs something else to think about, and so he is back in there now as they go more to their power attack. Back up to you guys.
That penalty against Missouri pushes the ball back to the CU 33-yard line. It's 3rd and 19. So a team that doesn't throw the ball very well has to put it in the air right here. But they don't. They keep it on the ground. Brock Olivo. What's the thinking there, David?
Well, maybe just play for 3 and try to stay in a close game. I don't know. They obviously don't throw the ball very well, but I think that's just playing for simply that, to remain close in this game. I think you have to try to play to win.
That brings out the field goal kicker, Mark Norris. He'll be looking at a 47-yard field goal. He has yet to hit anything over 39 yards. And it is into the wind. It's long enough, but it's far to the left. No good. So Missouri has yet to put any points on the board, and with 9:20 to go third quarter, Buffs still up 7-zip.
I trained my boy McNeely to go toe-to-toe with the champ, and he did for 89 seconds. He didn't back down from any combinations thrown at him, and he ain't backing down from this one.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
So good you'll eat it backwards. Show 'em, kid.
Oh, boy. The new 1-2 combination cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Hey, McNeely, how many slices am I holding?
I got it.
Coors Light, the silver bullet. It's shipped cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies.
A winning season depends on having the right equipment, like a powerful Vortec 4300 V6, controlled stopping ability, and shift on the fly 4-wheel drive. That means you need the versatility of the GMC Jimmy. And now you can score a great deal on a new GMC Jimmy. With payments like this, everyone's a winner. GMC Jimmy, a truck for every season, and that's something you can cheer about at your Colorado GMC truck dealer.
9:20 to go third quarter. Colorado still leads Missouri, but not by much, 7-0. Mizzou just trying a 42-yard field goal. It was no good, so CU takes over at its own 29. This is Troutman. And with a defender on his back, Troutman gets it up to the 36. Gain of 7. Herschel came into the game averaging almost 5 yards a carry. And like Brock Olivo of Missouri, Herschel's top game this year was against Kansas. 108 yards. 2nd and 3. Troutman again. A nice hole. He's across midfield and down to the Missouri 46-yard line. Easter the tackle.
Troutman with a nice job on the counter play again. Both right guard and right tackle pull, and Troutman behind an excellent block by Melvin Thomas, able to get into the secondary. Now, as he starts to get a little bit older in his junior and senior season, once he breaks the initial contain, he will look to start to make people miss. But here, he simply just tries to run right over the top of the last man available to stop the touchdown. Good cut there.
Troutman again, and another good hole.
Oh, there's a good one.
And he's inside the 25.
See, now you know he's got that wiggle, because he just made really the best tackler on the Missouri team, Demonte Cross, miss in the open field. That's what coaches look for, I think, the most. Not the fact that he can get through the hole with good explosion. What does he do when he gets into the secondary, and how does he make people miss? Watch the little shuffle right here. Just a nice little stutter step, and Cross cannot make the tackle. Excellent run by Herschel Troutman.
He was crossed up, you might say. Herschel Troutman leading the drive downfield. Another first down. And again, it's Herschel. This time, nowhere. Kevin Ford, the first man to grab him around the ankles.
Troutman, the ball carrier. Kevin Ford, the
So a lot of feast and a little famine for Herschel Troutman on this drive. A couple of long runs, and right there, a loss of 3. Second and 13. Well, the sun's starting to shine, the wind dying down a bit. Hassler looking for Kidd. Touchdown, CU.
Boy, a heck of an adjustment on a ball that got caught in the wind, and hopefully we can see what the wind does to this pass. Hessler puts it in pretty good position, but the ball just starts to flutter. That thing almost end over end when it gets to James Kidd, who turns all the way around and catches it in his hands. Terrific adjustment on a well-thrown ball.
Oscarici in the extra point. And it's good. And CU with its second touchdown of the afternoon makes it 14-0 with 7:06 to go, third quarter.
Dear Midas, one morning I noticed my car was pulling, so I took it to a tire store for an alignment. And after 3 separate attempts, they couldn't get it right. I went to Midas for help. Your manager...
Hi, I'm Paul Meyer.
And his staff spent all the time necessary to identify and correct the alignment. Paul said...
We don't want you to leave until you're extremely happy.
Which I am. Sincerely, Anthony Nista.
On the information superhighway, you need more than the latest technology. You need a very powerful drive. The Chevy Blazer with the Vortec V6. It's nice to know it's there.
Garage doors. You don't give them much thought, unless you're like me, the Ankmar door guy. I love them. Occasionally, your trusty garage door breaks down. That's when you need to call Ankmar Door. Our service people are the best. Doesn't matter if you're fixing a broken spring or replacing a damaged section. Hey, nice slap shot. Or installing a brand new door. Ankmar is ready to help. So give us a call.
Now, with any service, receive a garage door tune-up absolutely free.
Ankmar Doors. You gotta love them.
James Kidd, the junior out of Elk Grove, California. Just caught his 4th touchdown pass of the season from John Hessler. And the Buffs have taken a 14-0 lead over Missouri. I tell you, for 5'8", 160 pounds, he certainly plays big and fast. Leslie kicking off. This will be Randy Potter from his own 4. Runs into his own man and then gets stacked up at the 20.
Take a look at the pass again. John Hessler really puts it where he wants to. The only problem, the wind will take a nice spiral and turn it in almost to a punt-like attempt. And James Kidd turns around, gets his hands up, fights off the defender, and makes an excellent catch, which caps the drive. You see 5 plays, 71 yards, and that's more like what we've seen Colorado accomplish this year as far as the time of possession and the scoring drive. 2:14.
There were 3 plays of 20-plus yards in that drive. A Kidd catch and 2 Herschel Troutman runs. So Missouri now with a little more of a deficit to look at. Going deep for Rosetnew Jenkins, but Jones overthrows him. Corby Jones, a true freshman out of Columbia, Missouri. His father is an assistant coach on this team. His father is Curtis Jones, the running backs coach. Corby, a pretty good athlete, also wants to play baseball at Mizzou. On the afternoon, however, he is just 3 for 8. 2nd and 10. Play action. Good rush put on by Ziegler. Jones gets away and decides to run with it. And he is up to the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 8. Marcus Washington, the tackle.
Pretty good job by Jones here again. The waggle play, and he gets outside. The initial couple of receivers are covered. And Jones does a nice job of just cutting back against the grain and then just getting as many yards as he possibly can. We've got to see Buff shaking up on the field. I think that's Donnell Liamidi again.
It is. This is not the way he wants to go out at Folsom Field. One of 7 seniors on the team is Liamidi. While the training staff tends to him, we'll take a break. 6:29 to go, 3rd quarter.
I trained my boy McNeely to go toe-to-toe with the champ, and he did for 89 seconds. He didn't back down from any combinations thrown at him, and he ain't backing down from this one.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
So good you'll eat it backwards. Show him, kid.
Oh, boy. The new 1-2 combination cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Hey, McNeely, how many slices am I holding?
Coors Light, the silver bullet. It's shipped cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies.
Tap the Rockies.
The most affordable Lexus now comes with a moonroof. 6-disc CD auto changer. Leather-trimmed seats. And chrome wheels worthy of a Lexus. And with a savings of up to $2,000, you'll laugh all the way to the bank. The ES300 Luxury Value Package. Available while they last at your Lexus dealer.
Well, Donnell Liamidi gets hit, really, I think Ryan Black hits him right in the back of the helmet, and they both try to make the tackle, and Jones walked off the field under his own power.
3rd and 2 for Mizzou at its own 30. This is Olivo, has the first down and a little more. He's across the 35. Making the stop was defensive back Kenny Wilkins.
The ball carrier for Missouri.
There's Donnell getting a look.
You'll see left side of your screen, there's Black, and almost helmet to helmet.
You know, Donnell suffered a pinched nerve in the neck against Nebraska. I wonder if he re-aggravated that. Antoine Johnson, the fullback, skips his way up to a 44. A couple yards short of the first down, however. Ryan Black stopped.
Tell you, Missouri's been able to run the football a little bit here in the second half. Of course, they had the 50-yard run by Jones. Now you're looking up 2nd and 2.
Their own 44 is Mizzou. Antoine Johnson, cross midfield. Rosga stops him at the CU 46. Another first down for the Tigers.
The quick give to the fullback is basically a dive play. He cuts back to the soft spot, and when you've got safeties making tackles on plays like that, you're not doing a good job up front.
14-0. CU leads it, approaching the 5-minute mark in the third quarter. Corby Jones, the freshman quarterback, at the helm for the Tigers. This is Olivo. He's inside the 45. A couple of yards on that play. Olivo's not just their leading rusher, he's also their leading receiver with 16 catches on the year. His dad played pro football, a quarterback for the St. Louis Cardinals. Back when the Cardinals were in St. Louis. Hard to keep track of who's where these days, and it sounds like there's more to come.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. 2nd and 7 for Missouri. And it looks like the Tigers moved down the line. Every time they get a little something going. Every time Mizzou gets a little something going, they seem to shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, the last couple of weeks, Missouri, I'm sure, has played a little bit better by the standards that Larry Smith has said. They gave Kansas a game for about 3 quarters before losing 42-23. And prior week, they lost to lost to Oklahoma. I think it was 13-9. So I know you're judged in how many games you win, but when you take a program like this, and you're Larry Smith, you have to start somewhere.
2nd and 12. Intercepted by Wilkins. Are they saying you got to put in? Yes. CU's ball.
Well, they may have gone to this play once too often. The waggle again, the misdirection, and what you want to try to get is receivers crossing the field. You can see them doing just that. Nobody open, and Jones just forces this football, and a heck of a job by Kenny Wilkins cutting in front of the receiver. He's locked on the wide receiver the whole way. And good job of catching up to the play and making the interception. Jay Murchison, the receiver, the intended receiver, the ball a little bit behind him. When you throw it into the field, you got to have that ball out in front.
First interception of the year for Kenny Wilkins, the junior out of Mesa, Arizona. And they tried him at linebacker in the spring and put him back at defensive back this fall. And looks like that's the place he should be. London Henry on the Buffs' first play from scrimmage. A couple of yards for London. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. 3:20 to go, third quarter. Buffs lead it 14-zip. John Hessler has 2 touchdown passes so far today. Gives him 18 for the year. That's a CU record. Lepsis, one of the men who caught the touchdown pass, and he's driven out at his own 49. Another Buffs first down.
Driven out of bounds by Easter. First
Same kind of play that we saw Missouri run, of course, the misdirection. A little bit easier to make this throw when you've established the running game. And Hessler does a good job of pulling up prior to getting to that defensive end and finding Matt Lepsis. Pat Ivey, the defensive end for Missouri, had a pretty good shot at Hessler, just couldn't come under control enough to make the play.
165 yards so far for Hessler today. This is Henry.
Oh.
Just as he was going down, he took a real smack in the back from DeMonte Cross. This kid hits hard.
Well, he cleaned him up pretty good here. You can see Cross, the free safety, in the middle of the screen. We'll get a running start at Lyndon Henry. We've got an injured,
that's
another injured CU player. He took a good pop.
That's why you do all those neck strengthening exercises during the week. Football players spend a lot of time on that stuff. The neck, one of the most vulnerable positions on the body. One of the few that is not padded.
Lyndon Henry is the ball player for Colorado.
Lyndon coming off a little shaken up. 50 yards so far today. He's having a little trouble remembering all 50 right now, though.
I'll bet, however, he'll remember those three.
Probably. 2nd and 7. CU is at the Missouri 47-yard line. This is Marlon Barnes, his first carry today. Gets it back to the line of scrimmage only. Brian Craycraft, the defensive end, makes the tackle.
3rd and 7. At the Missouri 47.
John Hessler's done a great job stepping in for the injured Coy Detmer this year. As I said a few minutes ago, 18 touchdown passes so far this year, a school record. Can't ask for more than that from your second-string quarterback. Hessler complete to Chris Anderson, and the Buffs are inside the Mizzou 40.
And there's the 3rd down man again. That makes it 10 times this year on 3rd down they've thrown to Anderson. And 10 times they've come away with the 1st down, his 2nd reception of the game. He's just too big, really, to bump him. 220 pounds, and although the position of Clayton Baker is pretty good, physically he just got overmatched on that play.
Chris Anderson comes off a little shaken up. 1st down for the Buffs at the Mizzou 38. Barnes fumbles. A lot of white jerseys there, along with Marlon Barnes at the bottom of the pile. Let's see who's got it. They're trying to scrape everybody off of the pile to figure it out. And it is Missouri's ball.
Well, Missouri gambling again, and Barnes on kind of a delayed handoff. Look who gets him. DeMonte Cross, the free safety, knocks the ball free. Mark Alnut, the linebacker, I think was the one that got to it.
There's Alnut with the fumble recovery. So Missouri with the ball. And as you said, Dave, dangerously hanging around this game. Jones has some room to run. He's across midfield to the CU 49. A pickup of 8 before Steve Rosga stops him.
Second and 2, ball on the Colorado 49.
Word from the CU sideline. Donnell Liamidi, who came off with a stinger in the neck, has returned to the game. On 2nd and 2. They give us to the fullback James, and he has a Missouri 1st down. Well, the weather's actually getting pretty nice here now. What we thought it would be initially. Mid-50s, wind dying down some. There's Ron James, who just picked up the first down, and his nickname is Rhino. You just saw why. At the CU 46-yard line. Looked like a broken play. Jones is able to grab a couple of yards out of it. Ron Merkerson to stop. Winding down at the end of the third quarter. CU leading 14-0. We'll take a break. Come back for the finale.
Get on target for your chance to win Keno Triple Cash from the Colorado Lottery and News 4. Now through November 24th, Keno prizes will randomly triple for some drawings. Play every drawing, then watch News 4 at 10 every Monday through Saturday to see if it's a triple cash night. Hit the bullseye and play Keno Triple Cash from the Colorado Lottery. Find out first if it's a triple cash night only on News 4 at 10.
Boy, I love this Denver Post.
You got the Post without consulting me?
Yeah, got 6 months free.
Yeah, but I'm the man.
Well, man, you need Empire Magazine on Sunday. Western people, Western food, Western getaways, and Friday's bigger weekend is more fun than ever, plus 6 months free.
That totally undermines my hunter-gatherer role.
What? You want to spear it off the porch tomorrow?
Spear good.
Buy 6 months of the Post, get 6 free, plus 6 a.m. delivery. Call 832-3232.
Once again, experts are predicting an easy winner.
For Jeep Cherokee Sport owners anyway, its 190 horsepower engine, four-wheel drive, and anti-lock brakes turn even the harshest conditions into a day at the beach. And now get no-charge air and a lease rate of just $249 a month. Jeep Cherokee Sport, the perfect way to turn a wild winter into a mild winter.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer. Today's game is brought to you by Dodge, by Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites, by Blackjack Pizza, and by First Bank.
Les Shapiro and Dave Logan with you to start the fourth quarter. CU leading Missouri, and Mark McIntosh with a special guest on the turf. Mark.
Thank you very much, Les. We're here with John Buechner, the 18th president of the University of Colorado, and we want to congratulate you on your new job.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it.
You're not a newcomer whatsoever to the University of Colorado system.
No, I've been here 32 years, and I missed 2 home games in 32, and I'm sorry I missed those 2.
Can you name those 2?
Air Force and I think Cal Berkeley.
Well, that's not bad. We were just talking here, an athletic person yourself.
Well, I try to be. I keep active with a little golf, a little fly fishing, some skiing, so forth. But I really appreciate college athletics. And at CU, I think that we need to, if we're going to do something, we ought to be the best at it. So I've always told people all the way from astrophysics to athletics, we ought to be the best.
You take over in a time where I think consensus building is something that's important to you here at the university.
It's always important to have the public know that we're good stewards of their money, that this is their university, it's a public university, and public universities belong to all these people, plus the people who aren't here.
You used to teach at one time at Florida State, one of your students, Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, yes, he was sat in the back of the class, and he rested a lot.
Oh, well, he had a movie career ahead of him. You know, he couldn't spend too much time in academics.
He had a great career.
Thank you very much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. John Buechner, the new president, 18th president, University of Colorado. He likes to play a little golf, played about a 5 handicap.
Yeah, right. Add 20.
Okay, oh, what the heck, 25. And we wish John nothing but the best, as he's the 18th president of the University of Colorado. Back up to you, Les.
Yeah, Mac, you can get a little Nassau going with him. Well, Missouri picked up a first down while we were talking to the president. They're now down to the CU 38-yard line, facing 1st and 15. Also a penalty in the last couple of plays. Jones on the option. Keeps it. Gets down to the CU 33. Mike Phillips, the linebacker, the stop. Show you some numbers through 3 quarters. CU has outgained Missouri by 100 yards. and outpointed them by 14. 14-0. We're just starting the fourth quarter. Play is stopped. Flags down.
Missouri's tried to up the tempo a little bit, getting out of the huddle and getting set, but they've jumped off sides 2 of the last 3 plays.
Well, as we said, every time they get into CU territory, it seems.
Ball start offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
See, those are the kinds of mistakes that teams like Missouri are just unable to overcome. Well, you have to play nearly perfect football. You take a look at former Denver Bronco linebacker Ricky Hunley. Not in a hat, but standing next to the gentleman in a hat. There's Ricky.
Got a few recognizable names on the coaching staff. Get into that in a second. On 2nd and 15. Missouri wants to throw. And Jones is hit as he lets that ball go by Nick Ziegler. Incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. Excuse me, 3rd down and long. 3rd and 15. Well, along with Ricky Hunley on the sideline, another Missouri assistant coach is Eric Wright.
Pretty good corner in his day.
You bet. I
started as a rookie for a world championship team in San Francisco.
Went to 4 Super Bowls with the 49ers. 3rd and 15. Jones throws the ball into the turf. A couple of yards in front of Rosetnew Jenkins.
He threw the ball into the turf, and that's about where he wound up, too. Ryan Black, from his safety spot, came backside and got to Jones just as he delivered the football. Take a look as they try to protect for Corby Jones. There's the hit. I'd imagine he's got a sore back. Not a bad route by Jenkins. The ball just a little bit underthrown because of the pressure.
Jones still on the turf being looked at. Missouri does have a couple of experienced quarterbacks behind Jones. Kent Scornia and Brandon Corso. Both have played significantly this year. Well, while Jones is getting looked at, I want to tell you Gary Miller and News 4 Sports continue an exciting new season on Broncos Beat. It's tonight at 6:30 and then again at 11:05. That's a show, if you're a Broncos fan, you don't want to miss, because it's the only Broncos show that looks ahead to tomorrow night's game against Philadelphia. It's all on Broncos Beat tonight at 6:30 and then at 11:05, and it's all right here on News 4, the home of the Denver Broncos. Well, Jones comes out of the game. And out comes the punting unit for Missouri. Jason Smith lined up at midfield. Steve Rosga back at the 10-yard line waiting for it. He lets it go. And that ball is down inside the 5-yard line. Falling on it is Mark Alna. We'll take a break. 13:12 to go.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
Dear car owners, not everyone knows a car's suspension consists of the shocks, struts, steering, and alignment. Another thing not everyone knows, Midas is a suspension expert. So if your car pulls, shimmies, or bounces, come to Midas for a thorough inspection and a guarantee on shocks and struts for as long as you own your car. That's the Midas way.
Many public service company customers are going to receive an energy refund soon.
A refund that can help families who can't afford the same kind of energy needs that you and your family may take for granted. News 4 and the Colorado Energy Assistance Foundation hope you'll donate all or a portion of your utility refund. Look for this envelope in the mail, fill out your return stub, and mail it back. Your tax-deductible donation will help warm the hearts and homes of needy Coloradans.
Number 7 for Missouri is Corby Jones, the quarterback, who just took a hellacious hit from Nick Ziegler. He's talking with a couple of coaches on the sideline, including his father, Curtis Jones, the running backs coach. And Missouri has Kent Scornia warming up on the sideline now in case Jones can't come back. Meantime, CU with the ball from its own 4-yard line, starting the drive. Get back to the line of scrimmage on that running play. 14-0. CU over Mizzou. We've got under 12:50 to go in this ballgame.
Colorado probably will be very careful down here based on how Missouri has struggled to move the football. They've moved it decently, but certainly have not threatened to score, so you don't want to give a cheap one close to your end zone.
Hessler has completed 75% of his passes today. Looking at 2nd and 10 right here. Barnes again. He scoots it up to the 10-yard line. Gain of 6. Joe Love the tackle. There's Jones, and Dave, the way it looks, Scornia might be coming into this ball game, replacing him.
He took a pretty good pop.
That's his dad, who he's talking with right now. Rick Neuheisel on the other sideline, wiping the sweat from his brow, because this game is a lot closer than anybody figured. Hassler, complete to Lepsis. He has the first down. Dangerous pass, but made it work. Aldrin off Easter, the stop.
It's nice to have a nice, big target in the middle of the field. This is the fake swing pass to the back, and Lepsis just goes to the middle of the field and gathers it in for the first down. It's a big first down in this game, in that it moves you away from the end zone. Lepsis, his 5th catch of the afternoon. Plus now you can be a little more daring offensively.
And word from the CU sideline, Lendon Henry, the running back, has a slightly sprained right ankle and might return. Timeout on the field called by the Buffs. Hessler will make his way over to the sideline to confer with the coaches. And we'll take a break with 11:26 to go. CU leading it 14-0.
In Colorado, we take some things very seriously.
All right, the blackjack's here. I wondered if you were going to make it.
You know how serious I take my blackjack pizza.
Blackjack Pizza. This is serious pizza at a ridiculously low price. Get a large 2-topping pizza for only $6.99. Call Colorado's own Blackjack Pizza.
Good morning, Ty Kirby. Oh, geez. Hello, Ty Kirby. Rubbish. Sit up straight. Don't talk too much.
Good day to you, Mr. Kirby. Good luck, sir.
Good. My lucky shoes.
Hello, I'm Ty Kirby. I'm ready.
Patience is a virtue.
But why wait? Right now is a great time to get your best deal on a new Nissan.
Life has its ups and downs.
Actually, there's nothing down when you finance a 96 Ultimate GXE with alloy wheels and you make no payments until 1996. Or lease a 96 Maxima GXE with alloy wheels for just $299 a month for 36 months with $2,000 down.
Rock and roll will live forever.
But these deals won't, so get a great deal today. Why wait?
Folsom Field, just a couple hundred tickets short of a sellout, but a lot of empty seats out here today, which is too bad considering CU is the 9th-ranked team in the country. But then again, it has been snowing in the mountains, and a lot of these people, a lot of CU fans probably up there on the fresh powder.
One of the few times we've seen the option today from Colorado. John Hessler able to run this play a little bit bigger and certainly faster than Coy Detmer, but he takes a good shot right there from Kay Blake, the outside linebacker. I don't think Hessler saw him coming as he tried to dip up into that seam, but he certainly felt him.
Picked up 6 yards on that play, brings up 2nd and 4. The Buffs at their own 22. We give to Barnes. Stays on his feet. And finally brought down at the 42 by Eric Douglas.
But Marlon Barnes showing you why he figures in this trio of running backs looking for extensive playing time. Makes a nice cut right there and pulls away from the grasp, and then strong enough that he can run through, almost through the tackle of Damani Cross, the free safety.
Marlon picks up 21 yards on that play. Buffs started this drive from their own 4-yard line. And another injured player on the field. This is a Missouri Tiger. Looks like linebacker Joe Love, junior out of Manor, Texas.
Get a good idea here what linebackers see when they slide to the outside on a running play. Marlon Barnes, nice footwork inside. There's where Love gets hurt. And again, the cutback, and Damani Cross stops this from being even a bigger gain than it was.
Love is up. Staggered a bit, however. Well, Gary Miller's Sports Extra is the place to be for extra Broncos coverage. Gary will have Jeff Campbell along with him this Saturday and Sunday night for a double dose of the best in sports. As always, the Sunday edition will feature a complete review of Sunday's Broncos-Eagles game. Join Gary and Jeff for Sports Extra Saturday nights at 10:35 and Sunday nights at 11:05 following the Neuheisel Show. It's only on News 4, your home for sports. Rick Neuheisel earned a law degree from USC, and now he's facing a former coach at USC, Larry Smith, down the Missouri sideline. First down for the Buffs at their own 43. Play action. Hessler. Cross field. That's James Kidd. Yes, they say he did bring it off the turf for the catch. Down to the Missouri 42-yard line, and that's James' 5th catch this year.
Here's a nice complimentary look to what they've been running. The waggle, normally they roll to that side and the receivers run left to right. This time he stops short and hits the receiver all the way back across the field. And you're right, that's a heck of a job of coming back to the ball and getting both hands under it before it hits the turf.
Kidd with 19 catches on the year, 5 today. And another first down for the Buffs. Marlon Barnes. First hit by DeMonte Cross and then sent flying out of bounds by the linebacker Kevin Ford. Picks up 3 yards.
You see both middle linebackers and Cross, the free safety, coming toward the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped. And boy, Kevin Ford gives Marlon Barnes a shot before he gets out of bounds.
Second and 7. Hessler complete to McCarty. Well short of the first down, however. Caldernoff Easter there quickly to make the stop. That's McCarty's 2nd catch today.
Designed to catch Missouri again in that blitz inside. Pretty good job of closing to the football. And McCarty picks up just a couple. That's Tennyson's 2nd catch of the afternoon. Third and 4 for the Buffs.
And a timeout on the field. Missouri will take it. So each team now with 2 timeouts left. We've got 9:02 to go in the ball game. CU leading at 14-0, and we'll come right back.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
Between coaching, broadcasting, and family, there's not a lot of time for anything else. That's why I like First Bank. They're locally owned with over 60 locations right here in Colorado. You can call First Bank anytime, 24 hours a day. And the best deal of all is free checking. That means no minimum balance, no monthly service charges, and no annual fee and an ATM card, all for a full year. First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, Colorado Bank for you.
Hey, Dan. What's wrong?
Hey, Grant. Bad show. Hair looked bad, teleprompter went down, made some mistakes on some highlights.
I got something to cheer you up.
Thanks, Grant. I appreciate that.
No problem, man.
Paid attendance today at Folsom Field. Just under a sellout, 50,645. However, only 40,000 people have shown up, so we've got 11,000 empty seats here today. CU tries to go to James Kidd, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. And the crowd wants the Buffs to go for it. They are well out of field goal range, but in Missouri territory. And it looks like the Buffs will listen to the crowd and go for it on 4th and 4. Three wide receivers lined up to Hessler's left, top of your screen. They run it to the other side. Hessler on the keeper. Look at this. He's going to get in. Inside the 15, the 5. Touchdown, CU.
A pretty good play away from the 3 receiver side, away from your trip side, because you know that you're going to have the majority of the secondary to the left. They run option right, and he gets a great block by Chris Naoli. John Hessler, again, over 200 pounds, able to break a tackle on his way to the end zone. Take a look at the guard who pulls Chris Naoli, and Hessler follows him right there. Good block on Kevin Ford, and John Hessler is off to the races, a 36-yard touchdown run.
Oskarichian, the PAT. He's got it. CU's got a 21-0 lead. John Hessler with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. Pretty good day for the young man from Brighton. 2 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown rushing.
Signing a couple autographs here as the game goes on. Hessler again, the spin option, away from the 3 receiver side. Again, Naoli with a good block right there on Ford, the linebacker. Hessler runs through the arm tackle of Bo Adams, and then he is going to get himself into the end zone. Black shoes and all.
Caught everybody by surprise.
It's not a bad drive.
No, not at all. Pretty good average, almost 10 yards of play. Hessler, an all-state quarterback when he played at Brighton High. Also a pretty good baseball player. Just an all-around athlete. You saw that ability on that touchdown run. Jason Leslie will kick off once again. Randy Potter and Kenyatta Williams back to receive it. Potter lets it go through the end zone. So with 8:48 to go, Missouri with the ball, down by 3 TDs. This telecast is an exclusive presentation of KCNC TV and the Group W CBS television station partners. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of this telecast without the expressed written consent of KCNC TV and the Group W CBS television station partners is prohibited.
In other words, don't do it, right?
Don't do it.
You just don't want to do it.
Mizzou with the ball at its own 20. And a new quarterback in the game for the Tigers. That's Kent Scornia, a freshman redshirt out of Washington, Missouri. So they replace a true freshman with a redshirt freshman. And that pass floated up into no man's land and incomplete. Ryan Olson welcomed Scornia to the game.
As you can see, Scornia has thrown the football more than Jones, but Olson with a pretty good move inside, and Scornia just has to put that thing up before he goes down.
He was lifted up in the air and go, whoa, Nelly.
I mean, you don't want to come in and get sacked on your first play of the game. You also don't want to throw an interception.
On 2nd and 10. This is Olivo, and he's pushed up for a 3-yard gain. Olson makes the stop. Well, you and I, right after this ball game, head for DIA and Philadelphia. Looks like we're going to have a good tailwind behind us, too.
Yeah, it might be an hour flight.
Broncos and Eagles tomorrow night. We'll have all the coverage for you at 5 and 10 on News 4. 3rd and 7 for Mizzou. That was intended for Rezeki Jenkins, but kept floating and floating and floated right out of bounds. Of course, tomorrow night, that Broncos game, KOA Radio will have all the action live for you. Larry Zimmer and Dave will be in the booth.
That's a game that Denver has got to try to find a way to win. I think that could be the key to the rest of their season. They can go 2 games above 500 with a win against the Eagles, and I don't suspect that'll be an easy game. Eagles coming off a tough loss Monday night against Dallas.
Andy Mitchell fumbles the punt, still gets it off. That was Missouri punting the ball. My mistake. Jason Smith punting it for Missouri.
You've already gone to Philadelphia. You left me.
Oh, boy. All right, back to the Broncos. The new Mike Shanahan show can be seen every Monday night at 6:30 right here on News 4. Join the coach and me for an in-depth look at tomorrow night's game against Philadelphia. Mike will answer questions about what happened in the game. Plus, he'll use the telestrator and illustrate why certain plays worked and why others didn't. That's the new Mike Shanahan show. Mondays at 6:30 right here on News 4, the home of the Broncos. Well, you know, I saw a problem with the punting game, and I automatically assumed it was CU. Missouri punting the ball to CU. This is Troutman. He picks up 4 yards down to the Missouri 45-yard line. Thank you for correcting me there, sir. Oh, boy.
You know, you said it so convincingly, I thought I was looking at the wrong team. They have, you know, black pants and similar colors.
Second and 6 for CU, approaching the 7-minute mark in this game. Troutman again picks up the first down and inside the 40. Damani Cross the stop. You know, talking about the colors that each team wears. Missouri usually wears white pants, but the team will stay in black, home and road, for the rest of the season in honor of the late Don Faroe, the former head coach at Missouri, former athletic director. He recently died at the age of 93. Faroe coached at Missouri for 20 years, up until 1956. In fact, their field at home is named after him, Faroe Field. And the players are also wearing stickers on their helmets that bear the initials DF. You see right there, upper right of your screen.
Chris Naoli, injured in that last play, going to limping himself to the CU sideline.
Buffs with a first down at the Mizzou 37. Hessler to throw. Going deep. Just out of the reach of Ray Carew. Well, with the wind behind them, they thought they'd take a shot at the end zone.
Well, and they got the ball up over Damani Cross's head, the free safety. You can see a little bit short of that coverage. That's almost a touchdown. Very close to the play action with Ray Carew.
Had a couple of steps on the two defenders. Hessler just couldn't get it to him. On 2nd and 10, they stay on the ground. And Troutman is down.
Missouri has gambled quite a bit tonight, this afternoon, and more times than not it's paid off. That tackle by Steve Martin, but they bring both inside linebackers once again.
CU marching band shows up, rain or shine, or wind or no wind. Sound darn good today, too. Actually, they sound good every Saturday. And because it's homecoming, some of the former marching band members, graduates, playing with them today. 3rd and 14. Hessler intercepted. There's a penalty flag down, intercepted by Clayton Baker. If it stands, it's his 4th interception of the year and the 2nd today for Mizzou.
It's going to stand because Colorado had 2 men moving at once. So Missouri will have the football.
Illegal motion offense. Penalty is declined. First down.
You see Rick Neuheisel talking to John Hessler. That was just a poorly thrown pass.
And John knows it. He can hardly even keep eye contact with the head coach.
When Troutman went in motion, the receivers were scurrying to the line of scrimmage to get set.
And now Missouri with the ball at its own 48. This is Kenyatta Williams. Gets it across midfield. Pickup of 3, maybe 4 yards. Nick Ziegler the stop. And Missouri not huddling up. Scornia, the swing pass. This is Williams again. He's got some room on the sideline. Finally run out of bounds at the CU 36. Kenny Wilkins ran him out.
Nice touch of the football here by Scornia, and Williams able to gather it in and get upfield for the first down.
.5:14 to go in the game. CU leading 21-0. Williams again. Hurdles one defender, then stacked up by a few more at the 35. Call it a gain of 1.
Rick Neuheisel still talking to John Hessler. See, you want him to get better. It doesn't matter that you're going to get the win here, but you want him to know that you just can't do that. You can't make throws like that because there will be games, plenty of them, in which something like that could cost you.
Scornia going deep. Just out of the reach of the intended receiver, Frank Jones. And on the defense is T.J. Cunningham.
Scornia makes a nice one-handed catch of the snap, and then this is a pretty well thrown ball. Very, very close. You see T.J. Cunningham doing a nice job of fighting with that right arm and then taking it away at the last minute.
Scornia, as I mentioned before, a redshirt freshman. Came into the game with 2 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. He's thrown for 210 yards on the season. 3rd and 9. Penalty flags down. That pass incomplete. Again, he was looking for Jones. Kenny Wilkins on the coverage. Less than 4.5 minutes to go. CU has about wrapped up its 8th win of the season. Should put the Buffs at 8-2, 4-2 in conference.
Illegal procedure, 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Offense, penalties refused. 4th down.
Mizzou on 4th down keeps the offense on the field. Don't have much choice right here. Down by 3 touchdowns. They've got to get it into the end zone. Field goal won't do them a whole lot of good. 3 wide receivers lined up to the right of the quarterback scoring. They come inside to Olivo. Just short of the 1st down. Looks like CU will take over on downs.
I tell you, well set up play, and maybe not quite as good a job running with the football as Brock Olivo is capable of. Just a slip screen to the middle receiver, and Olivo, I think if he turns this thing up right here and just goes for it, got a chance. Steve Rosga on the stop, and CU will take over.
Well, be with News 4 Sports for the best in high school sports on Saturday, December 2nd. It's the 5A State High School Football Championship game. The teams and the site still to be determined, but it promises to be a great afternoon of football, high school style. That's the 5A State High School Football Championship right here on News 4. Your home for high school sports. 1st down for the Buffs at their own 28. You can bet they'll keep it on the ground most of the rest of the way. That's Troutman picks up 3 yards. Alnut makes the stop. One more game left in the regular season for the Buffs. It comes next week at Kansas State. A top 10 ranked team. And it will not be easy. Kansas State for real this year. Essler on the day, 18 for 26. A couple of TD passes, a couple of interceptions. Facing 2nd and 6 right now. Troutman. Up to the 35. About 3 yards short of the 1st down. It's amazing how quickly this conference has gotten so strong. There's really no patsy anymore.
Well, you look at Bill Snyder and Glenn Mason, the job that they have done respectively, Kansas State and Kansas, and those 2 teams have kind of jumped up and over a number of clubs. Kansas gets the win here in Boulder. CU has to travel to Manhattan, play Kansas State next Saturday. You mentioned that'll be a tough game.
Timeout taken by CU. We'll keep it right here for you. Hey, who do you like in the Heisman? Really a mishmash out there, isn't there?
Tell you what, I think if you had to stop it right now and vote, I'd vote for Tommy Frazier from Nebraska. I think he is a terrific player. I know there's some that think the Ohio State running back, whose name escapes me right now, may be the
Troy Davis
front runner. No, that's Iowa State.
Eddie George.
Eddie George from Ohio State. Terry Glenn, the wide receiver from Ohio State's a great player. But I think Frazier means as much, if not more, to a championship caliber team as all of them.
Give some votes to Troy Davis of Iowa State?
I think he'll probably be in the top 5 or 6.
Neuheisel loves him. He says, hey, when you've run for as many yards as he has for a 3-6 team against the likes of Nebraska and Kansas State and CU, he deserves some votes. 3rd and 3 for the Buffs after they take that timeout. On the option, Essler pitches to Troutman. It's on the turf. And a pile-up. Both teams had a shot at falling on that ball. Still no call on who it.
Yeah, they've called CU with the ball. Troutman just takes his eyes off of it. Good pitch, and as you see, a lot of folks with that opportunity. Here's the option. Troutman's just looking ahead. Can't quite gather it in. I think Darren Champagne Chiaverini may have been the guy that gathered up the loose ball. It's tough to see who had it.
Something just happened at the line of scrimmage. An official is really ticked off and threw the flag. I think somebody said something.
You know, when they get that mad, they throw it really high. They take it, and their arm goes faster, and the thing goes higher.
15 yards, first down.
Boy, what a costly mistake. It was 4th down for CU. Missouri gets flagged, and now it's CU's ball still. They retain it on the penalty and have an automatic first down. Larry Smith, you can be sure this guy is a disciplinarian. He's going to get in somebody's face for that.
What'd you do? Was the last thing we could see Larry Smith say. First thing I'm sure that player will say is nothing.
Boy, how maddening it must be for him after taking USC to the Rose Bowl 3 times, helping build that Arizona program into a contender in the Pac-10, and coming to Mizzou. He knew he had some work to do. I wonder if he knew there was this much work to do. In his 2nd year with the Tigers. This is Troutman on first down. Dragged down from behind by Mark Alnutt and Cave Lake.
Ball to Missouri 45, 2nd and 4.
Hi there. Trying to keep warm on a windy day here at Folsom Field. Got the whole crew with us today. Our last game of the year for CU. And a great job once again throughout the season by the whole crew here at News 4. Second and 4. Troutman. Looks like he picked up the first down by just a bit. Alnutt to tackle again. Some of the people will bring you the pictures and the sound from Boulder, from the Broncos games, from the high school championship games. Herschel Troutman has gone into 3 digits rushing, 21 carries, 100 yards. This give to Keith Miller. Young man out of Ovid, Colorado. Steve Martin the stop. Bill Johnson, say hello, buddy. There you go. And that's the shot you see from his camera. 30 seconds to go. Jeff DeMott on another camera. Miller again, tries the middle. That ought to do it. Colorado finishing up the home part of its schedule with a win over the Missouri Tigers. That ups the Buffs' record to 4-2 at home. They're actually better on the road. They're 4-0 on the road. Hang with us here. Our Mark McIntosh is trying to track down Rick Neuheisel somewhere in that crowd. And we'll hear from Rick as soon as Mac gets a hold of him. We'll also try and talk to some players before we sign off here. Buffs with 1 game left at Kansas State next week. And then it's on to a bowl game. Let's go down to Mark McIntosh right now.
Well, thank you very much, Les. Coach Rick Neuheisel is looking up into the stands. Here comes Kerry Hicks. Kerry, we'll get you for a second. Defensively, you guys took some heat, but you come out today and throw a shutout, your first shutout of the year.
Yeah, it feels good to get a shutout. We've been expecting a shutout since day one, and we haven't got it. But all right, Kerry. We got it, so I'm happy.
You know, the defense coming into this ball game, I think the last couple of games you were a bit embarrassed by like 32 points Oklahoma State. Did you do anything differently this week, or is the intensity just more this week?
No, we really didn't turn up the intensity any. I mean, our coaches were happy with the intensity we've been playing, but we had sat down the first of the week and we had meetings, and they told everybody we have to be assignment conscious. They told everyone you have to be, you know, ready to play their responsibility every play, and that's what we did today, and we got a shutout.
Your final game at Folsom Field, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a good kind of, I don't know, kind of good feeling. I love this place. It's going to be a shame that I'm gone, but hey, you know, that's how sports is. People come and go.
Kansas State next week, the Cotton Bowl really up for grabs there.
Yeah, it really is, and we'd like to get our chances of playing a real good team and getting our chances of going 10-0 for the season, so it'll be a real big game for us.
All right, Kerry, congratulations, and thanks for stopping.
Thank you.
Kerry Hicks, senior defensive tackle, talking about the Buffs trying to pick up their 9th victory next week, and then if they went to a bowl game and won, it would be their 10th victory this season, and of course that would give them the 4th highest victory total in one season for a University of Colorado football team. Rick Neuheisel got away from us and headed into the locker room, and Celeste, we'll throw it back up to you. The Buffs register their first shutout of the year.
Thanks, Mark, and thank you, Kerry Hicks. And we'll be right back to wrap things up at Folsom Field.
This sounds like a nice place. You can watch your own cable TV. Discovery, TNT. Enjoy Ben & Jerry's ice cream or a sexy magazine. Relax with music, tone your muscles. But don't make a reservation, because this is one of Colorado's newest prisons. They did the crime, and they're doing the time in style at your expense.
It's better than most people would probably think prison is.
News 4's Brian Moss has a report that will forever change your idea of prison. Is there a purpose for pampering prisoners? Monday at 10 on News 4.
What is wireless, and what does AT&T have to do with it? For the sidekicks, it's finding alternative transportation to the big game. For Joan Pfeiffer, it's sending email from her laptop to an associate's messaging device hundreds of miles away. And to Dave Coates, it's dialing his cellular phone with just call home his voice. Introducing AT&T Wireless Services, technology that sets you free. Call 1-800-IMAGINE.
When they were small, we had a little sports car.
And then they got bigger, so we had to get a four-door.
So we leased a new Volkswagen Jetta, $219 a month. Nice, huh? German-engineered front-wheel drive Jetta comes with rack and pinion steering, daytime running lights, dual airbags. It's a great driving car.
It's got a big back seat.
And a huge trunk.
Weimaraner's come from Germany.
Maybe that's why they like driving so much.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
The lotto jackpot has grown so big, there's a chance you could surprise the family with a new car. Lotto, the stuff dreams are made of.
Well, the Buffs with another win. 21-0 over the Missouri Tigers. The Buffs up their record to 8-2 on the season. It was defense, defense, defense today.
Yeah, that'd be one way to put it, I think. You kind of get greedy, and I think Rick Neuheisel has addressed that the last couple of weeks. When you see this program won a national championship in 1990, and you expect them to be at a national championship contender virtually every year, then when things kind of go awry a couple of games, you get down in the mouth, and you expect them to be perfect every week. That doesn't happen with kids this age, and so I think the job that Rick has done, his staff has done over the course of the year, has been good. They've got one very important game left against Kansas State. It would really be nice to see them close it out with a win, and as you heard Kerry Hicks tell Mark McIntosh, maybe secure a Cotton Bowl berth in the process.
Now let's talk about that. Is the Cotton Bowl interested in the Buffs, and is it necessary to go 9-2 to get a berth in the Cotton?
Well, I don't think they can get there if they lose to Kansas State, so I guess I would answer yes. I think it very much is a possibility if they can go to Manhattan and find a way to win, but judging from how Kansas State has played this year, that will be very difficult to accomplish.
And in Rick Neuheisel's estimation, that is a very important bowl game to get to. Even though the Cotton Bowl is not part of the alliance, it is still a high-profile bowl, and it is still a very rich area, Texas, when it comes to recruiting.
And Colorado's done a great job the last few years going down to Texas and plucking some of the outstanding players out of the Texas high school system. So I know Rick and his staff would like to get down there, and they've got a tough week of work ahead to try to make sure their club is ready to go Saturday.
All right, Dave and I will sign off now for another CU season here on News 4. The final score in the final home game, CU 21, Missouri nothing. The executive producer of today's game is Tom Edwards. Today's game produced by Terry Travato and directed by Tom Richards. Our engineer in charge is Dan Reese. We'll be back on Saturday, December 2nd, when we bring you the 5A State High School Football Championship. For Dave Logan and Mark